All right, good morning, Eagles! Welcome! Congratulations, you did it! Welcome to Central Texas College. My name is Mariceli Santiago. I am the Director of Student Life and Activities, and I get the privilege to actually welcome every single one of you to CTC. I am so excited to have you here. If you haven't noticed, we've already been talking a little bit, and I know I am super happy about the fact that you're here. You guys make me happy, very, very happy. I'm excited to meet you guys as you go through your journey. For those of you that are in Texas, hopefully we can meet in person. If not, we can always meet virtually. And if you need any assistance, we are here to help. In the meantime, there's a lot that we're going to have to go through, guys. So today it's a fun-filled day. We have a lot going on. So I really hope that you guys take the opportunity to ask questions, really get a lot out of it. By the end of today, my goal is that you know, first of all, at least one person that you can go to if you have any questions. And second of all, that you have a better understanding of what is expected of you as a CTC student. So those are my two main goals for today. And I really hope that we can have an active conversation going. If you are live with us here, I am so excited. We have people from all over the world coming in from all over the world. We have somebody from Germany, Iraq, and other deployed places not to be named. And so we're really happy to have you here. Part of what we're going to start with is our welcome. We would just really want to say hi to everybody. And so for that, I am going to ask Dean Julie Starkey to start us off and say welcome to all of you.
Welcome, everybody. My name is Julie Starkey, and I'm the Dean for Student Success and Persistence. And guys, you are taking your first step today towards success. By participating in our new student orientation program, you're going to learn so much. You're going to learn about so many resources. You're going to meet people, even though it's a virtual, you're going to understand who you can turn to for help and questions. And that is truly your first step towards success here at CTC. And so I'm so glad you're with us. I encourage you, if you have a question, put it in the chat. We've got people monitoring that and trying to answer all your questions. And Mariceli will come back to things that pop up in that and address them as well. And so please ask your questions. I would be remiss if I did not give a shout out to our student success coaching program that is launching this year. It's the inaugural year. Ms. Charlotte Wesley, I think, was waving to you. You're going to hear from Charlotte Wesley, who's leading up that group. And with all of the coaches, I don't know if you have a coach. Isn't that cool? You have a coach. And she's going to walk you through how that works. But we've wanted this for so long, and we're so happy to have it. And we're doing it because we're committed to your success. Please commit back to us. I would be remiss, though, if I didn't give you a few tips for success. And so that's what I want to do as I close my comments. First tip, which nobody's going to be surprised, is you have to go to class every single day. And that means if you're in an online class or a different modality, you have to participate in that class. You have to log into that class multiple times a week. Multiple. So I don't want you to try to avoid scheduling doctor's appointments and other things if you can, but it's so critical that you do that. Number two, you have to, as part of that, you've got to turn everything in. You're going to have several faculty that talk to you today, and they're going to talk to you about the importance of your syllabus, the syllabus for their particular class. And in that, it's going to outline a lot of your assignments. If you walk away from an assignment, all you're doing is hurting yourself, because a lot of times the faculty put it all out there and they don't come back and add stuff later. So for instance, if you had 4 tests during the semester and you just chose not to take one, the best you can do is 75% in that class. And you're going to hear from the faculty. Really get those assignments, everything in, everything. Don't think you're going to be okay. You just don't know. The third thing is the most important thing, and that's you have to get to know your faculty. You have to get to know your faculty. They are your number one resource at this institution. They want to get to know you. They want to help you get to know them. That's who you need to ask if you have a specific question about a course, about something you don't understand. you've got to go to your faculty. For those of you that are coming out of high school, you maybe could use some other people, but that's the number one place that you can go, and you're going to find they're great people. They want to connect with you, and they want to know what's going on. So get to know your faculty. The fourth thing I would tell you is use your resources. Today is all about resources, and you're going to learn. It's going to be overwhelming, everything that you learn that we have here at CTC. It is going to be overwhelming. But no, we are here to help you, but we want you to start using those resources day one. I would argue that you guys are great because you're using a massive resource right now by coming to new student orientation, but use those. And the last thing I'm going to say is commit to your CTC experience. 100%. Give us your all. We'll give you our all in return, because we want to see all of you walk that stage at graduation. That's what we all live for. So have a great day. Have a great semester. And if I can be of any help to you, I'm going to put my name and email address in the chat. Please reach out. But have a great new student orientation. And I turn it back over to you, Mariceli.
Thank you, Dean Starkey. We're so excited. Yay! All right. So I'm going to make an attempt here to show you my quick agenda for today, just to kind of give everybody an idea as to what you all can expect.
Mariceli, this is Robin Garrett. Can I
you
say
are
hello?
here.
We didn't see
I'm
you.
sorry.
I
I
just
didn't
jumped
see
in.
you.
I just
Okay.
checked in. I'm sorry. I was on another call. I apologize, students. I am so sorry that I didn't make it earlier. I'm Robin Garrett. I'm the Vice Chancellor for Academic and Student Success, and I want to welcome you all so much. Oh, we're so excited to have you at Central Texas College, and I look forward to seeing you on campus, or if you want to reach out to anybody, please tell them that they can send me your regards, or if you need me, I'm here. But I'm so happy that you are here, and there's nothing else to say. We're dedicated to having you be successful and helping you meet your goals. So I just want to know that I appreciate all of you students, and we welcome you dearly. Thank you. Thank you for letting me jump in, Mariceli.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Garrett. Thank you for coming in. I know it was kind of last minute, but I'm glad I was looking for you. I was like, oh no, I guess she couldn't make it.
I know. I couldn't get off a call. So.
That's okay. But thank you for at least coming and say hi to our students. So
Okay.
great.
Love you, students. Bye.
Bye. Thank you for coming. All right. So we're going to talk a little bit now about the agenda as to what you can expect for today. Let's see. We're going to do this. I hope you can see the correct page because I'm not sure. Yes, it looks like you can. All right. So right now this is our agenda for today. We hope to be done by 12:30 Central Time. That's the plan. And we're going to go over all of these things throughout this process. Ask questions. Please let us know what's going on, and we will definitely do our best to answer everything. Whatever we can't answer right now, we might actually get your info and get back to you on it. But please go ahead and chat and let us know how we can help you. All right, so this is the agenda for today. And the very first thing we have is actually our Blackboard overview. And what we are going to do is ask Dr. Angela Reese, she is our Blackboard guru, to please come on up and let us know about Blackboard, let everybody know how important this is, and how the students are going to use it. Take it away, Dr.
Yes. Of course. Good morning, Eagles. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here today. We really appreciate the fact that you want to be successful in your academic journey. So this is the best way to start, is like everyone else has said, paying attention, getting this information, getting the resources that you may need. And let me just start by telling you, don't be overwhelmed by everything that we're sharing with you. We are going to be here for you throughout your journey, not just today. We are here to help you. So if you have questions along the way, please ask, put it in the chat if you have questions about Blackboard. And some of you might already be going, I'm already lost. Blackboard, what's Blackboard? Well, I'm here to show you, tell you everything. But the first thing I want to tell you, and the reason I haven't shared my screen yet, is because I want to tell you, do not do what I'm about to do right now. The reason I'm telling you that is because if you try to follow along with me, you're going to get frustrated because it's not going to work. The reason it's not going to work is because you don't have access yet. So Blackboard is our virtual classroom. It is used in, I would say, probably 99% of the classes that we have here at CTC, whether it's lecture, it's straight online, it's a blended course, it's a virtual class like this. We have so many different options for you for the types of classes that we offer, but you will need Blackboard. You will need to access it. But the problem is that you can't access it until tomorrow, because tomorrow is Friday. That's 3 days prior to our fall semester starting. It's hard to say fall when it's 125 outside, prior to our semester starting. So you will have access at some point tomorrow. If you try to hop on at 6 a.m. because you're excited, it might not yet be turned on, but it will be by about noon. So let me show you now what Blackboard is. And again, that is our virtual classroom. There are a variety of ways to get there, and I'm just going to show you the way that I like to go. So give me just a second to get everything pulled up. And I do have 2 computers, so I'm just double checking that things are ready to roll. All right, so I am at our homepage, which is ctcd.edu. So if you've never been there, make sure to write that down. That is definitely a page that you will need access to at some point. There are, again, ways to get to Blackboard, a ton through this website, but I'm just going to show you one. If you hover over student tools, you will see several areas that will be of importance to you, and most of them will be mentioned throughout your journey today. You will see the third one down is actually Blackboard. And when you click on it, it actually goes to another site. So this is a site that I would save. Write it down and then save it. If our website ever goes down, you can still access your course. So you can't say, well, couldn't get to class because the CTC website was down. Well, this is a separate one. This is Blackboard. So it is ctc.blackboard.com. Save it, and that'll be the easiest way to get to it. You're also able to download an app so that you can access it from your phone or from a tablet, basically from anywhere. So check that out as well. How do you log in, you might ask? Well, that's pretty simple. And if you forget, that's okay. There are instructions that are down here. So our username is going to be your student ID, which is a lowercase c and then 7 numbers. Your password is going to be your date of birth, month, day, year. So if today's your birthday and you're born today, it would be 081524. That would be your password. Now, if you're moving along and tomorrow you don't remember what I said, you're going to click on See Blackboard Login Instructions. It will take you to this site here, and basically it tells you everything that I just went over. Then if you say, well, I don't know my username because I don't know my ID, that's okay too. You can use the Blackboard username lookup, and you will be taken to this site. You will type in your first and last name and date of birth, and then it's going to give you your username. If you are still having issues, you can call tech support, or you can click on the Contact Us page to send them a message as well. So far, so good. Any questions, Marcelli? Okay, moving on. So now we're, thank you. So now we are, we put in our username and our password, and we are in. Now this is a student that is my fictitious business administration student. He's been in lots of classes, as you can see over the years. Some you will see are repeats, so he's not doing too hot. Yours won't look like this though. Yours is going to only show fall of 24. Okay, so Calvin's again been here a while. So as you continue on with us from semester to semester, you will have a list of classes that you'll be able to go back and access as well. And as that happens, make sure to mute yourself, please, if y'all are not speaking. So as I was saying, this will continue to build each semester. And as you move forward and register for future classes, you'll see stuff like this. So if I try to click on Calvin's fall classes, it tells me you can't access it yet because you won't have access until the Friday before classes start. So I'm going to access one of Calvin's old summer classes just to show you what things look like. I'm going to get into his Principles of Marketing class here. And I just want to show you around Blackboard today. One thing to keep in mind is that while the the interface of Blackboard, or what you see when you log in, is going to look very familiar in each of your classes. Please note that each of your instructors will do things a little bit differently. So I'll show you the announcements today, and you'll see right now at the very top, it shows that there are 29 announcements that Calvin hasn't read. He might have read some of them. I can't remember at this point, but there are so many. I utilize that function. Other instructors don't utilize that as much as I do and prefer to interact with messages and send you messages so that you can reply and they can reply back. Each instructor, again, does things different. So make sure to realize that just because what I'm showing you right now, this is one of my classes. So of course, you're going to see things in the tabs that I show you. So I'm just going to go across the top. At the very upper left-hand corner, you're going to see the course that you're in, along with the start date and the Blackboard number. This is just to help you make sure you're in the correct course when you're getting started and working through it. You will see this OSL right here in the upper left-hand corner. That tells you that this is a self-paced course with milestones. What that means is that there are checkpoints along the way for you, but there are also hard, firm deadlines. So those checkpoints, we're just saying, hey, come on, please make sure that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. These are our suggested due dates. And then we get to a milestone. And that might be, let's just say September 15th is your first milestone. At that point, all of your assignments through that date are due, meaning after that date, you can't continue to work on them, that you have to make sure that you have those submitted. If that says OLL, that means that you are in an online class with firm due dates, meaning if you see a due date, you better hit it or you're going to have a 0. If it says LEC, that means it's a lecture course, meaning you better figure out when you're supposed to be on campus for that meeting. If it says SVL, synchronous virtual learning, that means that you've signed up for a course that looks kind of like this, to where there is an online time that you meet. So you'll want to make sure to understand what time that's going to be as well. And then of course, more information about the course, the name again, the start date, and then it's also going to have the end date for you. Below that, again, this will all look the same as well. So we have content, which is our primary area where you're going to work in the course, the calendar, which is going to show you due dates. Now, since this course is over, there's no due dates because the class has ended. But if this were a current course, you would see your due dates listed here. You can also look at it over the month or the day. Okay. Next, you have all of your announcements. You can see here, those that are bolded, Calvin has not yet looked at. So there are a lot that Calvin has not checked out yet. When you first log into a class, or when you log into a class each day, as Dean Starkey told you to, any new announcements will pop up automatically on your screen, and you'll be able to view them that way so you won't miss them.
I have a
Discussions.
question.
Yes.
What's the name of the self-paced again?
Oh, self-paced is the one you see right here. It is OSL. Now let me just make sure everybody understands, it's self-paced with milestones. And I'm actually in this class, I'll be able to show you what that looks like, because there's going to be the milestone deadlines that I can show you that are firm and hard. So it has suggested along the way and then firm at a certain point in time. Discussions, some instructors use this, some of them don't. You can see here that I've got a question and answer area. I have student introductions, and then I also have a variety of discussions that people are supposed to be a part of. Gradebook, and I say supposed to because not everybody participates, but you are all going to, because you're here and y'all are ready to be active in class. We want you to participate. Now, the gradebook is where you can come to see if you have submitted assignments or not. So you don't need to email your instructor or message your instructor and say, hey, did I complete that quiz? You can come here and tell whether you have or not. You can see the name of the assignment, the due date, which is past, so we don't have that. It shows that it's been graded, and it also shows the grade, and then if there is any feedback. So Calvin did not really participate. You can see that he got several zeros. He also has a grade on the course procedures quiz of only a 25 out of 50. As we scroll down further, there's one thing I want to show you specifically. This is the discussion board, and it says when he first participated, and it shows he only got a 3 out of a 60. I can't show you his actual discussion, but he didn't type very much. And he only got 3 points because he literally typed basically less than a sentence. So I'm going to also show you to the right. This is the feedback that your instructor gives you. So if there is written feedback, you'll be able to click on this, and it's going to tell you the feedback from the instructor. Now, normally I give about a full page here of feedback, but Calvin didn't give me anything to work with. So you can see here any comments that I've made, and then I could also click on this rubric, and it's going to show me the breakdown of those 3 points and why he got it. I can't do that though, because it's going to open up the whole discussion board and I can't show you that. If you wanted to send me a message or anybody else a message in class, you would click on messages. I'm not going to show you that feature because it will bring up everyone. Analytics shows you where you are in the class and how you have been performing, and you can compare yours to your peers in the course and run a report. If there were group assignments in the course, you could click on this group area, and you will be able to know that by the syllabus that your instructor gives you. So now let's go to content. This is basically where you truly conduct your course, how you do things, how you can interact with people, you do all of your assignments. At the top, you will see at least that in my course, I have my instructor info. You can see the phone number there, where I'm located, also who my supervisor is. Below that, getting started or something similar is going to be in each of your courses. It might say start here, or it might say do this first, depending on how your instructor has it set up. This is actually a folder that I can click on, and you can see that Calvin has only done 2 of the 7 items, meaning he has not really done the things that he is supposed to do. If he had, there would be a check mark to the left showing him that he had done it. I would suggest in your first course that you go through every single one of these. Start here is going to be very similar in all of your classes. Other than that, you need to make sure that you are going in and understanding what is required of you. The syllabus is your meat and potatoes of the class, basically. This tells you what you have to do. I'm going to show you what this one looks like. This is one of the things that I am going to click on. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger for you. It's going to give you an overview of what the course is. So the course description, what you will be learning in the course materials. And this is really important for you just to double check. If you've already ordered your books, you want to make sure it's correct. If you haven't, you actually can click this little link right here, and it's going to allow you to purchase the book for only $25 right through the course. So sometimes your instructors will have the ebook availability, and it's much cheaper than you can get it anywhere else. Below that, you're going to see the course schedule of assignments. This is what I really wanted to show you for my person and anybody else that is curious about the OSL, self-paced with milestones. You will see here it says suggested due dates. So it tells Calvin when he is supposed to have assignments complete, but not until this milestone number 1 does he have to have everything turned in. At this point in time, this is that first firm due date. You will see that there is another one about 2 weeks later, and then again a little bit longer in the class until the end. Further down, you will see the exam information and how exams are broken up. And then this is another area I wanted to point out to you. This is what Dean Starkey was telling you, that you need to complete your assignments, because even for our exams, you can see here that between the 4 mini exams and then the final, that is 300 points. Even if you score a perfect score on all of your exams, you will have 300 points. You can see here under course grade calculation, 300 points is an F. So you won't even pass the class if that's all you do. So please do your assignments. It is designed for you to have a variety of different types of activities to do in the course to support your knowledge of what is happening, to show that you understand our learning outcomes, can demonstrate those, and participate, of course, throughout the course. Don't just take your exams, or don't just do the written assignments. It's not enough to pass. All right, I'm going to go back out, and I'm not going to click on all these because I don't have time, but you definitely want to look through all of these areas to make sure that you know what is expected of you. One other main area that I want to show you are the lessons. So you will see that this course has several lessons, and Calvin hasn't completed any of them. I'm just going to go into one of them, and I'm going to show you just what for this course, what it looks like. So you will see here under this one, we've got our introduction and learning objectives, activities, graded assignments. And again, click on each one of those. Calvin has not. Below that, you will see what the actual assignments are, and you'll be able to click on them and actually participate in those assignments. So if I were to click on student introduction, it's going to take me to that assignment, and then I would be able to actually start working on that, as well as the discussion board. Below that, we have our quizzes. If I click on that folder, same thing here. I can click on chapter 1 quiz. It's going to take me to the quiz, and I can complete the quiz. Marceli, how am I doing on time?
Oh, yes, I think you have, let's see, you have
About 4
like,
minutes?
yeah, you got a few more minutes, like 4.
Okay. Okay, so one final thing that I do want to show you is the BioSig verification. So BioSig, let me go back to getting started. One of the things that you might have noticed on here is this BioSig biosite. In each of your courses, you will likely see at least the biosignature ID. The biosignature ID is very similar to, your cell phone. When you look at it, it recognizes your face and it opens. Or if you have the thumbprint, or if you have to type in a code, same thing. So this is going to verify that you are who you say you are in this course, and in your next course, and in your next course. So that just like your Face ID, just like your thumbprint, just like your passcode on your phone, you will basically have a passcode that you are using for us, and you will be able to use that same passcode. I have had mine for 12 years now, and I've used it for 12 years without problem until one time, actually last week. The reason I had an issue with it is because the mouse, the keypad mouse on my computer is going out. And so I was having trouble actually utilizing it. So the way that I was doing my signature, it didn't recognize because my mouse was broken. Other than that, in 12 years, I have not had a problem, but I was able to try it again, and it allowed me in. So you will set it up one time, and then you will utilize that same passcode. So let me just show you this one area right here. If I click on this BioSig, it's going to open up. It's going to tell me information about it, basically everything I just told you plus more. And then it's going to show you a video where you see this how to enroll video, where you will go through the process of setting up your own biometric signature ID. And once you have it, again, you will utilize it for all of your classes. All right, questions?
I don't see any questions, but I'm trying something new. So
Okay.
let's see. I activated a poll. I don't know if you guys can see it. No? Can anybody see it? No? Yes, maybe?
I can see it.
You see it? Okay, let's see what people say. Do they know when? Okay, can you answer it? Help me figure it out, guys. Oh, so far I have 8 votes. Come on, there's more than 8 of you here. Okay. Ooh, so far we have 100% correct.
I like it.
Yes. You don't see it? I don't know. I'm sorry, Jasmine. I don't know.
It's in the chat. Jasmine, check in the chat. Oh, well, you're chatting, so I guess. Yeah, Starkey's laughing at me.
All right, guys, good job. Everybody except one person got it correct. It starts tomorrow. I'm sorry, guys. I'm playing around with this, but hey, make it a little bit more interactive. Thank you. Thank you for playing.
Very cool.
All right. So thank you very, very much. But we have more stuff.
1 minute. Can I say one thing?
Oh.
Okay. So if you're overwhelmed right now, or tomorrow you're like, what'd she say? We are going to, this is recorded, plus we also have a hour-long Blackboard overview next Wednesday at 11 a.m. So if you're trucking along next week and all of a sudden you're like, what? How do I do that? How do I start the discussion? How do I look at my grades? I'm going to spend a whole hour going through step-by-step a variety of things.
Yes. And I will put the link of that in a little bit in the chat so anybody can register for that, as well as other virtual events that we're going to be having within the next few weeks. This is a great opportunity. So anybody that, whether you're here in Texas or anywhere in the world, you can participate, you can ask questions, and then hopefully you will learn even more. Maybe by then you'll have gone into your class and you'll have more questions and we can help answer them. So thank you. All right, so I don't know, but now it's time for our faculty panel, and I can't see a lot of people right now because I moved. We go see our faculty. Are anybody there? Is anybody here for our faculty panel? I can't see. Let's see. Who might be here? Because if, let's see, I know that Dr. Seeley Cruz can't be here, but let me see. If you are here, please show me your picture and talk because I can't see you or my faculty. Hello?
Yeah, this is Dr. Heberlin.
Hi, I can't see you though.
It shows on here that I'm on.
Oh, yes, I just don't see your, oh, there you are. I see you now. Welcome. We've been emailing back and forth, guys, and I haven't actually seen his face ever. So this is kind of exciting for me right now. All right, thank you.
Yeah, a bottle of water.
All right, so thank you very much. So can you, I know Dr. Reese already introduced herself. She's going to be part of the panel. Can you introduce yourself and let our students know who you are and what you teach?
Yes, I'm in the this is Dr. Heberlin. I'm in the communications department. I teach English as a second or other language, English, and I'm also the college's AI specialist. That's my role today, is to answer your questions and talk a little bit about the AI policy and the use so that you don't get into trouble.
All right, so part of the faculty panel, we want to make sure that anybody takes the opportunity and asks questions about what's going, anything that you might have for our faculty as a student, what your expectations and stuff. But since we started this with AI, can you give students a very short tip as to like a very quick tip as to what they need to keep in mind whenever they're considering using AI in their classrooms?
First and foremost, read the campus AI policy. I was on the committee that put that together. It is available with CTC now. Read it very carefully. The professors have the option to allow you to use AI or to completely deny the use of the AI. So always be sure of where your professor stands in the course. Next, if you use AI, please don't copy and paste what AI gives you. I've been working with OpenAI for the last almost 2 years now. And I've been on the 3.5, the Trio, and the 4 Omni panels on evaluating it. AI does not write in a way that makes it look human on the surface. But when your professors read that, they're going to know right away that there's something that's not right with the writing when they compare it to their experience with student writing and student input. AI is a good place to start for brainstorming and outlining and getting general ideas down, but don't use it to write your papers because I promise you, my experience has been across the board. It's going to cause trouble for you.
Great. Thank you very much. So, Dr. Reese, what's your hot tip for the students?
I would say communicate. Communicate, communicate, communicate. Communication is key in any business and in your family and also at school. So make sure that you reach out to us. If you have questions, we really want to hear you. And since Dr. Cruz-Seeley isn't here, I'm just going to go ahead and add her little tidbit in that, well, 2 things, is that she is in her office eating bonbons that are chocolate. Come join her. Come join all of us, whether we are at home, at the office, overseas, like a lot of you guys. We have instructors all over the world. We want you to communicate. When you say, sorry to bother you, you're not bothering us. We want you to come and see us. Reach out to us, ask your questions, even if it's something that you don't think is appropriate to ask us as it pertains to the class. Like, I don't understand how to do my discussion board. I don't understand how to start it or submit it. It just says save draft. Reach out to us. That is our job, is to help you through that, or especially the content. If you say, well, I don't really understand this marketing plan, and I don't understand the section that says that I need to do a SWOT analysis. I didn't see that in the book. I can't find it. I'm here to support you. I'm here to work with you, whether that is in my office, this kind of office hours, on a phone call, in a chat. We want to help you through that.
Yes. So,
Can I tell the other hot tip?
yes. Well, and before you
Okay.
do it, I want to make sure. Please ask your questions. Please type them in the chat. This is the opportunity for the faculty to answer any questions. So please go ahead, start typing your questions in the chat. Take advantage of this opportunity. In the meantime, next tip.
So the other tip was, and Dr. Crucila, since she can't be here, I'm going to do this too. She has a fabulous PowerPoint. I don't have one. But time management is her hot tip. You knew, this is what she says, you knew when you signed up for class that you have a family. You knew when you signed up for class that you might have a job, right? It didn't all of a sudden appear the day of the test and you have to say, but I have to go to work today. I can't take the test. Plan ahead. Make your schedule. Schedules are so important. The busier you get, the more important that becomes. So however that works for you, figure that out to include scheduling time for you, schedule time for your exams, schedule time to go eat bonbons with Dr. Crucili. However you need to do it, figure that out. For me personally, I'll tell you what worked for me when I was getting my doctorate, when I also had 2 full-time jobs and a toddler and a husband and all the things, right? So I had a huge desk calendar and I would write my entire life it took me a while, but I would work from the start of the semester to the end of the semester. I would write everything in to include gym, sleep, feed my kid. You have to do that. All the things, right? So that was all there. And then I just forgot about the whole semester and I looked at 1 week at a time and I said, okay, what do I have to accomplish this week in order to be successful? And then I would just focus on that 1 week, and being able to do that allowed me to really be successful in all of the things that I had to do. And was every day successful? No, of course not. Did I cross my entire to-do list off like I have multiple to-do lists on here? No, but sometimes you have to adjust it and just kind of move that to the next day. So that worked for me. You might think that sounds insane. However it works for you, figure out a plan to manage your time.
Yes. Thank you very much. Dr. Crucili would be proud.
Yeah. Make sure to tell him.
I will. She pinch hit for you. So this one time you pinch hit for her, I'll tell her now you're even. All right. So few things. Let me see. Come on, ask your questions. Now this is the time. I know that a lot of times one of the things students ask is about their materials for the classroom, and how can the students, know what they need versus in the classroom, whether it be textbook or materials and stuff like that. What do you guys recommend? Either one of you.
Well, let me jump in real quick on that one. Again, when you go to Blackboard, you go to the very first page where the syllabus is outlined. And all of us, to the best of my knowledge, if there are textbooks or materials that you need to have, it's certainly going to be listed on there. Some professors like myself, with the teaching I do, I have online resources that students use, and the links to those resources are provided on the main syllabus page. And throughout the syllabus, when the assignment is given, there are links that take you directly to the resource that is directly relevant to the assignment that you're doing. So the syllabus is the first go-to. Take your time, read it very, very carefully, because again, that's where your professor is going to address AI also.
Great. Let's see, we have some questions. Thank you. Hello, when doing online classes, when do I go to the school to get my materials?
So the bookstore is open, I believe, tell me if I'm wrong. Okay, Monday through Friday, but it's Monday through Thursday, 7:30 until 5:30. And then on Fridays, it's 7:30 to 11:30. So you can go in at any point. If you need to physically go to the bookstore, there also is the ability to purchase online from our local bookstore or also from the online bookstore, depending on where you're located. And if you utilize financial aid, you will need to utilize the bookstore. So while anyone can utilize through our classes and purchase, like for my class that I showed you, you could click on the link and purchase that $25 link. You cannot use your financial aid if you are going that route. Okay. So while it might be a little more expensive at the bookstore, not too much, but a little bit more expensive, if you're utilizing financial aid, you go that route. So anytime you're able to go there online or in person, you are welcome, Jasmine.
All right. The other question. I noticed for some of my classes that they say Windows PC needed. Is that necessary from day one?
So I would tell you to reach out to your instructor and let them know if you don't have something, and then they will work out a plan with you on how to proceed forward.
Yeah, typically too, my experience is that unless the application for the class that you're working in is specific to Windows. Like I use Apple and I can access, I'm not a Windows guy, used to be, but not anymore. But I use Apple for everything. And so far, I have not encountered situations where I could not access or manipulate material here on campus through anything. So the way the computers are set up now and the processors, they typically work well across platforms. But again, as mentioned, double check, especially if you're in a business management or something of that nature, or in one of the technical career services.
Yeah, she wrote down that, or Ariel, I'm not sure. That's how I am too. I have Mac right now, but I'm going for my cyber defense degree. So that one, you probably need to talk to your
Yeah,
faculty and the department. That specific one is one of those where, yes, maybe you can use it, but you're gonna have to maybe get some of those modifications, but talk to the department about it because that's a really specific degree plan.
Yeah, and for that, Apple, again, at one point in time, Apple used to allow you to partition your hard drive and have a Windows side
Okay.
so that you could work Windows and
Thank you.
so
Nice.
that's a question to ask so that you don't, maybe you won't have
Yeah.
to go out and buy a Windows machine. If you can partition and have somebody do that for you, that would be the least expensive route to go.
Thank you. All right, let's see. Gabriella asked, what if our financial aid hasn't been processed? And I think you were talking about
For the books.
books and stuff. Yeah. Can we still get the books? So yes.
I mean, you can get the books. I mean, you need to talk to the financial aid department about being able to purchase those. As it pertains to hard copy or digital copies of the books and why, it really just depends on your preference. Sometimes it's a lot more expensive to get, or it is a lot more expensive to get the hard copy of the book, which is why students prefer the ebooks. One reason I prefer the ebooks is because I love to be on the treadmill and I like to run and I like to read books or have them read to me while I'm running. So that is something that, because I feel like I'm really utilizing my time management's going like on overboard during that. So I personally like that. Other people like the ability because you can highlight and you can make notes, you can do all types of things, but others just prefer that hard copy. But know that if you're going to get the hard copy, it's going to be more expensive. And then the other thing is that you might require a code in order to take the course. So depending on what course it is, it might say that the code is required, which means there's some type of component that you have to do through the publisher, and you need the ebook anyway. So cheaper is normally the primary reason why I find that students go with the ebook.
Yes. So we
That
have
sounded
another
like a
question.
question. Sorry. End of
No,
statement.
it's fine. Isidra, I know that you're writing about the VA and if they haven't processed it, how would you pay? So here's the thing. We're going to have some people from financial aid and VA in a little bit, and they can get more into details with it. But because it depends on what kind of GI bill you have and stuff. But most of the time, if your financial aid or VA hasn't come through, and you need to, well, do they always need the book? Is this one of those things where you might need to talk to your faculty member about maybe? Can you explain why?
Yes, because each class is just a little bit different. So, for example, Dr. Crucili might tell you, and she would if she were here, that in her class, she wants the workbook. She wants you to have the workbook. She could care less if you had the book because there are a few free resources in the class. So, but other instructors will tell you that they want you to have it. So, yes, it does depend. I would reach out to your instructor if there's any confusion.
And when you ask your instructor, now again, if you haven't got your financial aid yet, I know there's a lot of problems with the feds right now still. If you don't have your financial aid and the books there, check with your professor and ask if it's okay if you purchase your books through Amazon. Because Amazon tends to be much more less expensive. And my daughter, when she was going, my daughter and me, when I was working on my master's and doctorate, I purchased all of my books through Amazon rather than through the bookstore because they are less expensive that way. And if you haven't had your financial aid processed yet, and it's not a situation where the professor has a specific code and you need the book for the class, check with them and see if it's okay if you do that.
Yes. So let me see. I have a lot of questions about enrollment, so we're going to talk about that a little bit later. NTSI. There's a few people. Let's see. My FAFSA. Okay, so FAFSA questions, we're going to have you talk to the FAFSA people. This is not the payment part. If you have questions about accessing your class and stuff, I know some of you have questions. If you're still I'm asking some questions because you're asking questions about registering for classes. We're going to talk with your advisors in a little bit, but if you're dual credit students, which is early college, high school, or anything like that, your counselor enrolls you. If you are not in dual credit, then you have to enroll yourself or talk to the academic department to enroll you. So that's the very short version to all of that. I'm sure there's way more to it, but that's all I'm going to say about that.
Can I just address, Reagan popped in, and I think Reagan maybe was a former dual credit student, and now she's taking classes and she's just confused because I think she had her public education people were taking care of her. And Reagan, I want to encourage, academic advising is going to come on in just a second, and you're going to learn a lot from them. I would also ask that you probably connect with the success team because they can help you make that transition from dual credit to regular CTC student and everything that you have to manage. So I just wanted to throw that out because that's quite the transition. So we acknowledge that. And so hopefully one of my success team will reach back out to you.
Yes, thank you. All right. So do we have any other questions that I've missed? I don't think so. But I'm trying to make sure. Okay, let me see how we're doing on time because that's the other thing. We're still good, I think. Yes, okay. So, let's see, any other questions? Can anyone explain about disability concerns? Yes, we will, actually. But can you as a faculty members talk a little bit about what it's like for you from the faculty point of view when you get information from disability support services? And then we'll talk about how the student requests disability a little bit later.
Yes, of course. So we can't help you unless we hear from Disability Support Services. I mean, we can talk to you and answer questions, but we'll tell you to go see them. So if you have a disability, again, you'll hear about that process in a little while and how to handle and go through that process to apply. But the offices will contact us to let us know that an accommodation is needed, and then we will make the adjustment and let you know that it has been resolved. So for example, if I get an email from Dr. Shank, and she will copy you, the student, and then it will tell me that you need double time, or you need this, or you need that. So I will fix it. I will reply, and I will say, thank you. Your account has been updated. Please let me know if you don't see this reflected in your account. So we handle that once we get the information from the office, but we cannot do anything to your account until that is received.
Yes. And the accommodations are different online, for example, maybe versus in person. Sometimes they can be a little bit different. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes. So if there is anything that you're struggling with in the class, to include, for example, I had a student that had Parkinson's one time, and he was unable to utilize the biosignature ID because he couldn't keep his hand steady to do it. So we were able to work around that. Or if it's that you need a note taker, that would be different for the classroom than some of your online classes. So there are a variety of things that they can do to help you, and we will make sure that we have everything in order for you, whether it is classroom or it is online. So rest assured that you can take care of.
Yes, thank you. All right, that was actually pretty, we don't normally get that question like that, so that was kind of good. Thank you. This is good. This is good.
Hey, Maricela, do you mind if I ask the faculty a question? I
Yes,
don't
go
know,
ahead.
students, if you've been seeing a lot of the various ads on various social media accounts where students are really getting into note-taking apps and different things like that students are using when they go into faculty's class. Do you see that? Is that something that you're seeing happening? Should students use those kinds of technologies, or do they not play a role? I've just always wanted to ask you what your thoughts are on all of that, because we're seeing so much of it being advertised and promoted to students. And I would love to hear your take on those.
Well, that's the first time I've heard of it. I guess
Really?
those ads, it hasn't been targeted towards me, so I guess their ads are working if I'm not in school right now. But we can talk about that in marketing. But I haven't heard of that yet, but if it's something that's useful to the student, I'm all for it. I have students that ask me if they can record in class, and I give them permission if there's no situation in the room to where they couldn't. And I think if it's helpful to the student, I would just make sure to, if it's something that would be recording other people, you definitely need to double check in the room if there could potentially be a reason why that would not be allowed. So, but I think that's a great idea to help.
Normally it's an app on the phone is what I've seen it.
Oh,
And the students
okay,
come
so
in
it's
and
not
they
a
turn
big
it
thing.
on, and then it takes notes, and then it organizes the notes and things like that for them. Everyone that
Cool.
I've seen, and so I was like, I need to ask the faculty and have them talk to students and say if they recommend something like that. If,
I'm curious what Dr. Heberling has to say about it with his AI background.
Yeah, there are several apps that have just recently, within the last 6 months, that come on that do that, and they are AI connected. If you are one of those students who is actually paying for ChatGPT, you should have access to For Omni. And if you download the For Omni app for the desktop, you can actually do voice recordings with it, and then have the For Omni organize, have it out, create an outline for it, have it identify key points. I mean, there are a lot of things you can do with the For Omni. I'm guessing it is the basis for the kind of apps that were just
right.
talked about. So that's been my experience. Most of what I've been working with when it comes to the AI are the various AI platforms like Claude and Gemini, Copilot, GPT, of course, and how they're leveraged. I've done a little bit of background check with some of the academics but there are so many companies out there right now and they're flooding the market. So my suggestion to you, before you go and spend anything with money, look it over very carefully, do your research.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. Da, da, da. How do blended classes actually work? Ooh, that's a good one.
That is a good one. We have one we only have one that's running this term, and it is, I'll just give you this example. So it's a business principles course. It runs on Tuesdays from 10:30 to 12. So the students go in and meet with Professor Ledger from 10:30 to 12 on Tuesdays only. And then instead of just a small online component, there's more time required online. So basically it's a blend between a lecture course and what you're doing on your own through the Blackboard course in which I showed you.
Okay, these are good questions, guys.
Very
Today,
good.
today you got been on point. I like it.
Yes.
Let's see. Anything else? Any other
There's
questions,
still
guys?
space in that class if anybody wants to sign up for it.
Well, we might have to talk to a few of the other students who still need to register. That might be an option for y'all, especially if you're into business. Let's see. Any other questions that I'm missing, guys? I don't see anything else. I would say any last words of wisdom? Because I know that usually let's see. With the self-paced classes, are there usually set times for lecture?
So with your self-paced classes, there's no required lecture component. Your instructor may have a meeting time that's optional, but nothing would be required that you have to do like that. So for example, the class that I showed you, it is straight online. It's just a matter of when you turn your assignments in. But that would be shown in the syllabus if you had that option to meet.
Dr. Rees, could you make sure you mention about the importance of the first assignment again?
Oh my gosh,
Or if
yes.
you haven't, can you guys let
I
students
missed
know
it.
how important that is? Okay.
I zoomed right over that when I was showing Blackboard. So in all of your classes, regardless of lecture, online, high tech, blended, whatever it is, there is a requirement to participate in a graded activity. So you need to make sure that you look at the syllabus and see what that graded activity is. If it's not in the syllabus, it's somewhere else in that getting started area, so that you know what it is that you have to complete. Logging into class is not actively participating. That is just logging in. Okay, that is not active participation. So look to see what that assignment is that is required and make sure you do it by the deadline that is listed in the syllabus. To be safe, I would just do it in the first week. So regardless of how long your course is, I would make sure in all of my classes, I get all of my syllabi and I look to see what that assignment is and I complete that assignment. The other important thing to note is just because you do it in my class does not mean that it counts for your other classes. So you could have 5 classes you're enrolled in. You only do it in my class. The other 4 are going to drop you from class. Once we do that, we cannot get you back into class unless there was some type of emergency that you could prove that you had. And even then, we have to have lots of people say, yes, you can get back in class. But that first step with us, we can't even send it forward to help you get back in if you don't do what you are supposed to do. First week, get it done in every course.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Oh, Dr. Heberling put down a great link there. Do you want to kind of explain what that is?
Yes, this is one of the websites that I go to explore and double check the validity of some of the apps that are on the market. The Education App Store is, these are what they say are the 10 best. But again, keep in mind that choose an app that's going to fit your learning style. That's kind of the key there. It's never a one size fits all, which is what companies try to sell, is the one size fits all. And it's not. Take the time, look at these, do your research. Cost is always a consideration with students. Your financial aid is not going to reimburse you for these types of resources, at least not typically in my experience. So be careful with what you choose. Look at the price, do the due diligence and the research.
Thank you. All right, the very last question I'm going to take is day one lecture in person. What is the recommended materials for that one day only? I want to buy my supplies now, but I don't want to overspend in things that I may not need.
Personally, I would take, yeah, there you go. Whether it's a notepad and a pen or your iPad or your phone to take notes, something just to be able to write down the things that you need, and you will most likely be doing some type of note taking on that first day.
All right. Well, I want to thank you so much, both of you, for being able to take the time out. We had great questions today. If you guys can, if you have a chance and you want to kind of stick around and sit in case somebody else has any questions, I would appreciate it. If not, thank you very much. I'm always grateful for the faculty coming on board. I always learn something. I learned a lot today, actually. So
and we had great questions today.
I know, that's what's exciting when we have this interactiveness. It's really, really great. So thank you
Marcel,
very much.
can I say one thing? I'm so sorry. It's just that this Blackboard, I didn't say this to you guys because you're new, but Blackboard is new for all of the faculty. So a lot of us got to use this new version of Blackboard over the summer. So we're familiar with it. We've learned a few things along the way. Some faculty have not used it at all, and this will be their first round of it, just like first round for you. So if you can't find something, I just want to, even though I already told you to ask questions, just realize that they might need to find it too. So you reach out to them and say, hey, I can't find the syllabus, and I know it's supposed to be here. I can't find it. Can you please direct me? So I just wanted to make sure that y'all were aware of that too, because anytime we create things, it's hidden from y'all until we say that it can be shown to y'all. And I just want to make sure you realize that might be something that's happened along the way too.
Have grace for the faculty. They're going to work with you. You work with them.
Hey,
All
can
right.
I just throw one other thing in, Mariceli? Guys, if you are overwhelmed by Blackboard and you need somebody just to walk you through anything, you can always come and get an appointment at the academic studio, and they're going to be on in just a minute, and they will actually help you pull up your Blackboard and help you work through it one-on-one. So I just want you to know there's a lot of support out there to help you manage all this.
And they can also assist virtually.
Yes.
All right. Thank you very much. Now, I am going to very briefly go back to my PowerPoint. We got to see the agenda and we did all of this. Now, for those, I'm going to go over some slides really quickly. And these are slides that if you have a moment, either take a screenshot or, write it down or whatever. I recommend screenshot or picture. So if you don't even know where to go to, if you're not sure even where to start to ask a question, these right here are two great emails that you can send information or questions to. That is Student Life, which is what I oversee, and the other one goes to the Academic Studio. We're all part of Student Success and Persistence, and we will look at it and get back to you and try to get you answers as quickly as we can. So this is like, remember I mentioned at the beginning, if nothing else, we're going to try to get you to know where to go and how to talk to other, if you have questions, where to go. This is one of those places where somebody will answer the email. So please go ahead and take a picture, screenshot, whatever it is, take the opportunity so that if you have questions in the future, you can go ahead and get them answered. The other thing is, and I need to wait, I'm going to move. We already talked to Dr. Reese, but here are some of the links for the bookstores that were mentioned. So we have the bookstore here on our central campus. If you're using financial aid, you have to use that one. If you're doing virtual classes, you can also buy from the Barnes & Noble College website. And if you need assistance with career and technical education textbooks, lending and childcare assistance. We're going to talk a little bit more about that, but again, this is one of those very quick, you can just snap a pic and then come back to it if you have any questions. If you want to look at the books and instructional materials, the listings that are given, and this is the general from the department, each faculty member might have something different, but if you want to look more or less as what you might need, this is a great website that's going to give you that information. So please take advantage of it. And all right. We've been talking about the communication a lot. The main way that CTC communicates with our students is through our Eagle Mail. Every CTC student gets an email account assigned to them within 3 business days after you register for your class, your first class. So please make sure that you look for that email, letting you know that you have your Eagle Mail account already set up. If for some reason you don't get the email, or if for some reason you forget, you can always go to the Eagle Mail to Student Tools in the main website. You go to Student Tools, and then you're going to see where it has the Eagle Mail website. You can go in there and just request to get your password, resent in. Most of the Eagle Mail accounts, what they do is to take the first initial of your first name and then your last name, and then they'll add at stu.ctcd.edu to it. Now, if you have a duplicate, then they may add a number next to the end of it. So it might be for John Doe, there's a few John Doe, so it would be jdoe@stu.ctcd.edu. Maybe the first guy gets that one, but if there's a second one, the second person would be jdoe2, jdoe3, etc. Again, this is one of those, take a pic. If you are in the Killeen area, if you're coming to take classes in our central campus, then you can come and get an ID, a student ID. It looks something similar to this. To get it, you can go to building 209, which is the enrollment center, and you can get the ID there. If you are not local to the Killeen area, you cannot, we cannot send it to you. So if you're in Texas and you're maybe not necessarily local, but you want to come down to our central campus at some point, then you can get the ID. But this is used in our central campus so that you can use our bookstore, student lounge, gym, academic studio, among other things. So this is, if you are going to be taking classes here in central campus, we highly encourage you to get it and have it with you. The other thing is, if you are in central campus, we are going to need all of our students to get a parking permit. It looks something similar to this. It is in building 211, which is right behind the enrollment center in our campus police building. You will just need to get your CTC ID, a valid driver's license, and then the information for the vehicle as well, the registration, and then they'll go ahead and give you the sticker. That is free. You can just go ahead and request it from them, and as long as you have everything, they'll go ahead and give it to you. It doesn't matter if the car is registered in your name or not. What they're trying to do is make sure that if you're using this vehicle to come to campus, that they are aware that it's your vehicle in case something happens and they need to identify the driver. The other thing is, please do not park in anything that says reserved, official use, engine, faculty, etc., so that you don't get a ticket. And definitely do not park in any handicap spots unless you have the state approved handicap placards. Texting. We like to try to communicate with our students via texting. Some of you may have received a text today to remind you of this event. We want you to go ahead and save this phone number to your phone so that you know that it's coming from us and not just some random spam. So please either take a quick pic of it and so that you can save it to your phone, or just go ahead and really quickly and save it to your phone. So that way, if we are trying to communicate with you, letting you know about things that might be important to you, please, you'll know that it's really coming from us. As of right now, this is the way that we're communicating. This may change in the future, but as of right now, this is the main way that we're sending text out. So please save that to your phone. Do we have any questions? I cannot see my questions right now.
I think Morgan has addressed most of them in the chat.
Okay, good. Thank
She's
you.
up. She's caught up.
All right. So I think it's time for our success coaches. Success coaches, are you ready? Where's my success coaches? Come on, success coaches!
Hey, everybody. Good morning. Good morning.
Hi, everybody. Nice to meet you.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning to our new CTC Eagles. Marcelli, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Yeah. I feel like I have, I'm in a vacuum here in this office. Well, good morning again to our brand new CTC Eagles. I am Charlotte Wesley, and I am part of an amazing team of student success coaches. So we're going to talk about what is a student success coach. What is this new program? So this brand new program on CTC's campus was designed specifically for you, our first time in college students. Yay! So we are here to help you along the way. So all of your burning questions, and I see a lot of questions in the chat. Where do I start? How do I begin? Hopefully when we're done, you will know where to come and how to get through all of those issues. Okay. And I'm not one, I hate to read PowerPoint slides, but our PowerPoint slides are like spot on.
Do you need
So
me
what
to
is
have
a
them, or
student?
do you need me to share them?
Yes.
Can you see it?
Okay, got it. All right. So empowering students to achieve their goals. That is one of our chief goals here as student success coaches. You're about to meet your team or our team of success coaches, and you'll learn how you can connect with a coach and who your specific coach will be. So I'm going to introduce the team in just a moment, but I wanted to continue to explain about what it is we do as success coaches. So along your journey through college, that is our top priority here, getting you through from semester to semester. As you embark on your very first semester, like I said, those burning questions, how do I get started? That is what we're here for. If you can go to the next slide, Marcelli. Okay, as the coaches, we are dedicated to helping you thrive both academically and personally. Helping you remove any barriers that you may have as you embark on this education journey. But personalized support aimed at helping our students navigate through their academic and personal challenges, as I just mentioned, and enhancing the student engagement, retention, and achievement. Basically, what that means, we're going to connect with you. Your coaches are here to connect with each and every one of our first time in college students. And you're going to hear about how we intend to do that. So when I say we're going to reach each and every one of our first time in college students, yes, we aim to do just that. Okay, if you can go to the next slide, please, Marcelli. Okay, our program goals are to improve your academic performance and help you finish. We foster a supportive community and address any barriers that you, the student, may have. Enhance your personal development and offer guidance on career planning and personal growth. So you're going to hear from one of the coaches that will tell you exactly how we intend to do that. But before we go any further, I want to introduce our team. So again, I am Charlotte Wesley. My team includes Jessica Gonzalez.
Hello, nice to meet you.
And Christopher White. So what I want to do
Good
now
morning.
is I want to have the coaches to share their one tip of success for you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Jessica Gonzalez. I'm a student success coach here at Central Texas College. It's a pleasure to be here and to welcome you to CTC as New Eagles. And like Charlotte said, our goal is to help you navigate from one semester to the next. And I love to use a phrase that Charlotte always uses, is that CTC is your first friend, or your coaches are your first friend. If I had to share one success tip with you, as a current student myself, it would be to go to class every class day as much as you can. Make an effort not to miss class. And as Dr. Reese pointed out, yes, we know that you have family, dogs, children working multiple jobs. Some of you trying to navigate, and going to class helps you get to that end goal. And we are here to meet you where you are. So my one tip is go to class, log in weekly for your online classes at least multiple times a week. That is my success tip for you. And welcome once again to CTC.
Good morning, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Well, my name is Christopher White. I'm a success coach here. And welcome. I'm glad to meet you all. Welcome, New Eagles. And my one success tip is to, sounds like common sense, but just to turn in your homework. Please, turn in your homework for every assignment. I've seen students look at their syllabus and they start off by calculating how many assignments they can miss. Not how many assignments they have, but how many they can miss and still be successful passing the class. Now that may work out from time to time, but most often it's not going to work out. You're going to come to a point where you're going to miss several assignments and now you're trying to catch up at the end and you don't have the opportunity to catch up because something in life gets in the way and it steals your time from trying to catch up and do these assignments. So I know it sounds like common sense, like why would I miss a homework assignment? But please, turn in your homework. Those zeros add up quickly. Don't try to calculate how many assignments I need to do to get a C in the class. You're going to strive for A's. So go into each class striving for that A. So if you do miss, you have the opportunity to get a B or a C. But always do your homework, go to class, and again, try to, as everyone else mentioned, some time management and organization will help you with turning in homework and going to class. And thank you.
Okay, thank you, team. So if I had to share a tip, I would say communicate. Communication is going to be key throughout your education journey. So not only this semester, but as you go through your education journey, because you need to be able to connect and communicate with others around campus. You need to be able to communicate with your instructors. So you've got questions, ask questions, reach out to those that are here to help you, whether it be your success coach team, whether it be student life, anyone here present at new student orientation, but we want you to be able to communicate. And so helping you communicate and getting started is what the success coaches are here to do. So you've been provided a coach to help guide you with understanding the college process, managing your many commitments that you'll have as a college student, with class assistance, whether that's referrals to tutoring or to any other resource here on campus. So Christopher is going to share with you what it is we actually offer, and then you're going to hear from Jessica about what makes you a first-time in college student unique, because remember I said we're going to have a way to reach out to each and every one of you. Well, what you have the privilege of experiencing this semester, you have been enrolled into a Blackboard course. And so you're going to hear from Jessica about what this Blackboard course actually means.
All right, everyone. So you see here what we offer. We're going to be offering one-on-one coaching sessions. That means you can come visit with us. We can sit down with you and help you plan out what you have to do next, time management, different things that could help you be successful. Anything that you're facing that prevents you from maximizing your time management, help you with that. Try to let you know about all the resources on campus that are available to you, set up tutoring sessions, help you with determining what you may need. As you go throughout the semester, if you run into any obstacles, we're there to help you overcome those obstacles, how to speak with your professors, where those professors are located, find out what the professor's office hours are, where they're just anything that you may encounter that may keep you from being successful. Should be there to try to help you overcome those. You can book those one-on-one coaching sessions by setting appointments with us. You can also walk in to our office is located in building 215. You can come walk in and meet with us. Even if you just want to come and just relax for a moment, to decompress, you can come and do that. Again, we're here to support you as a friend, your coach, your cheerleader. We're going to do that, all of that for you. We'll also be having workshops. Our first workshop is going to be on September 18th at the library. It's going to be for helping you start off, kicking off a successful semester. Again, that's going to be on September 18th at the CTC library in room 211. We'll be having our first workshop to go over pretty much what we're talking about now, different studies, techniques, study skills, time management skills, how to speak with your professors, how to look at review your syllabus. All those things we'll be going over in our workshop and seminars. Again, we'll also have referrals to the tutoring, wellness and counseling, all the different resources on campus. We can help you get in touch with those departments and set up appointments with them as well. We'll also be having regular check-ins. So now we won't just meet with you one time and send you on your way. You can meet with us, and then throughout the semester, we can follow up with you, ensure that things are going well, help you stay on track. If there are, again, any obstacles that come into play, we can try to see the ways to get around and overcome those obstacles. Setting goals by saying, hey, by this semester, we want to see that we have a B in the class or have an A in the class. This semester, I want to make sure I complete all 4 of my classes, passing grades 4.0. So whatever your goals is, we want to help you set those goals and accomplish those goals. And lastly, as you see there, it says SOAR. Our SOAR course is going to be a SOAR 1000. It's a course that you're going to find in Blackboard. It's not going to be for grade or for credit. It's all research-based. All there to help you, like, where do I go get an ID card? How do I locate books? How do I get tutoring? How do I get into Blackboard? How do I send an electronic form? All that's going to be in a one-stop shop in the SOAR course. And it is not for grade, it is not for credit, so don't fear that I have more assignments or things to do. It's going to be all about building connections and full of resources. Ms. Jessica is going to go into detail about what you'll find in the SOAR course. Again, if you have any questions about what we just discussed, you can put those in the chat. Next will be SOAR 1000.
Good morning again. Once again, my name is Jessica Gonzalez, Student Success Coach at CTC. So if you are a first-time in college student, you will automatically be enrolled in a course that we call SOAR 1000. And as Chris and Charlotte have continued to reiterate along with everybody here in our orientation today, it is to help you build connections. I know oftentimes as new students, it can be challenging to find out, where do I go, what to do. And so the SOAR course, when we developed this online course, as Chris said, it is not for credit. You will have no assignments in here. It is to help you build those connections with others, but more importantly, it is a one-stop shop for all of your campus resources. So what we did is we took a look at the massive CTC website and we pulled all the sites, all the links, all of the information that you would need as a student here at CTC. If you have a challenge, let's say, give you something simple, I don't know where to get my ID, or I need to go to a multimedia lab, I need to work on a paper, I need to type my paper, I need help with tutoring, I need to get to the academic studio, or I don't remember again, where do I get my parking permit? So this encompasses all of that, but not only that, we have resources with financial aid. We have resources for academics as well. And part of the way that this course is developed is each one of you are going to be broken down into a group. And when I'm done, Chris is going to give you the outline of the groups. And based on your last name, you will be entered in your SOAR course. It will either be with Charlotte, with Christopher or with myself. And when Chris gets, thank you, Chris. And so as you see the screen, you can take a screenshot of it. You will be enrolled in your SOAR 1000 online course based on your last name. Charlotte, Jessica, and Chris. So what I'd like to do now is, Mariceli, would it be okay if I shared my screen now, please?
So everybody, you'll be able to access the class, and just remember, Chris is my coach.
So may I ask all participants, is everyone able to see my screen okay?
Yes.
Yes? Are we good? Yes, perfect. Thank you. Okay. So what you see here is your SOAR 1000 course. And when you log into Blackboard, you're going to see, my screen may look a little different than yours, but on the left navigation bar, you'll see a tab or a navigation on the left for courses. You're going to click on courses. And then any course that you are enrolled in online will appear in the center of your screen. And mind you, mine looks a little different than yours. So if you have Charlotte, you will see Charlotte Wesley's course. If you see Christopher's course, you'll see section 2425. And if you see section 1003, that would be Jessica's course. And these courses are mirrors of each other. No course is any different than the other three. They are identical. So when you click on your courses, and let's say you happen to be enrolled in Jessica's course, the SOAR online course will come up. And it is my understanding that all students for your online classes will have access tomorrow, including SOAR 1000. We are so excited. We've worked so hard on this course, and we hope that we've done your due diligence with all the resources we have for you. Not only will you have access to this course, but you should also receive a welcome email from the Student Success Coaching team on, okay, I have access to this course. What do I do? Where to begin? And I know, as Dr. Reese said, you will find many similarities with the content in courses and online, and typically most academic faculty, including the success coaches, we have a Start Here section. So when you get your welcome email from the success coaches, you will see a Start Here. Click on Start Here and open up your document. And what I did, or what we did as a team, is I asked myself, if I were a brand new student in an online course, how do I even navigate? What am I even looking at? So in your welcome email, this is the document that you're going to receive. It's going to give you step by step. I'm also including screenshots, so you'll see what you're actually looking at various parts of the online Blackboard screen, what you're looking at. In addition, we also go over all of the tabs that you will have in the online section as well. You've got arrows pointing to all the different areas within Blackboard and how to navigate each area within Blackboard. And like Chris said, the gist of our course, our SOAR course, is to help you understand, and this is your Start Here. You're going to have various sections within your SOAR course. We have Welcome to SOAR. You get to meet each one of us. You'll have a bio from each of your success coaches. You get to learn a little bit about us. There is a course syllabus, and as Dr. Reese said, it's your meat and potatoes. But again, keep in mind, this is not a course for grading. There's no content that you have to complete. There's no assignment you have to complete as well. It's 0 credit, no grade. But again, it's to kind of give you, like I guess, like she said, the meat and potatoes, the Bible of what our objectives are as success coaches, and what we hope you learn from this. But I have to say, the most important folders are the 3 that you will see at the bottom of your screen. This first folder, Starting the Semester Strong, Tips and Campus Resources. Folder number 2, How-To Videos, Handouts, CTC Logins, and folder number 3, Study Tips. Each folder on the right-hand side has a drop-down arrow or caret. If you click on that drop-down arrow one time, again, thinking if I were a brand new student at CTC, knew nothing about college life, how do I navigate college? We have everything in the kitchen sink inside of these folders. So if you can't find something on the CT website, I promise you, you probably will find it here. We're talking college maps, student ID, the bookstore. You know, I'm hungry. Where can I go get some Scooby snacks? This has all of the resources on campus in one place. Let's say that you need to navigate a how-to video, how to access, again, Blackboard. I don't know how to access my email. I need to do an e-form for maybe financial aid or advising or something. So this not only has resources, it has tips, tricks, videos, written instructions as well. So the team and I scammered for about 4 or 5 weeks, putting this amazing course together, and we are so proud of this as well. And our last folder is study tips. So once again, we took CTC website, and this is your one-stop shop for resources. And I want to reiterate something that Chris said. We do want to meet with you at least twice in a semester. We want to meet you to get to know who you are as students. In the beginning, we want to kind of know what are your goals, what barriers might you have, what are some of your challenges, and that's what we are here for. So we hope to see you beginning of the term, possibly midterm, but don't stop, don't let that stop you from coming in and just saying hello. We probably will have chocolate and Scooby snacks on our desk as well. So come visit us. Reading Bon Stew, trust me. Chris always has Kit Kats in his drawer. He's always giving Charlotte and I lots of chocolate. So please come see us. We are happy to serve you here at CTC. Be looking forward to that welcome email tomorrow with your access to the SOAR course, and we cannot wait to meet you. One important thing I do want to say, and to reiterate something some of my colleagues have said, we have many events on campus, and one thing I love is at the top of your SOAR course, I do go over each tab. There is a calendar tab. This calendar tab, we actually will have student events, campus events in this calendar. And I know that I don't know if it was Monticelli or one of my colleagues did mention we're going to have virtual workshops to help you with logins I think the logins are for TrackCloud, eTreeve, Blackboard, Eagle Mail, and Eagle Self-Service. And I will be putting those on the calendar. So if you're not sure if we have events going on campus, please look here. We're going to work very hard to get as many events. Now, mind you, I may miss one or two. I may not know everything going on the campus as a team, but we will work very hard to put as many events on here for you as possible. So we look forward to meeting you, and welcome once again to CTC, and I will turn it back over to our coaching team.
All right. I just want to say really quickly a few things. Number one, Jessica, in the poll, you're winning. As right now, you have 41% of the students who are in here. They're yours. Followed by Charlotte with 32%. And Chris, we got to work on this. You only have 27 as of right now. But we're going to work towards it, right? We're going to make sure it's a little bit more.
Yay, team!
Be strong.
You're getting there. You're getting there.
Ready to go.
All right.
Yay.
Really quick. I wanted to show the slide with their contact info, Charlotte.
Awesome. Team Charlotte, yay! Again, welcome students. We're excited to have you and we look forward to meeting with you. Another thing to note that we mentioned that the first time in college students will be enrolled into the SOAR course, but if you are not for some reason a first time in college student and you would like a coach, you could still reach out and contact us and we will see about adding you to the course, and you can still meet with us. You can still have a coach.
Yay. All right. Well, thank you to the coaches. This was exciting. This is getting better and better each time. And I do want to say we got we got a sneak peek yesterday at their area, and they're like, "Oh, come into the break room." And I went into the break room. I was like, "What is this? This is not what I was. That's not what I'm used to a break room looking like." It is very, very soothing, very zen. I felt like I could just relax in there. So they're doing a great job over there and getting their area squared away and looking great. So good job, guys. Yay! All right, now it's time to talk to financial aid. I know a lot of you had some questions regarding financial aid, and I'm pretty sure Stacy should be around. Stacy, are you here?
I'm here.
Yay! So let's welcome Stacy Pritt. She is our
Hello,
Associate
hello,
Director
hello.
of Financial Aid, and she's going to tell you all about how to make sure you get your money's worth.
Oh, yes, that is my goal in life, is to make sure y'all get the most bang for your buck. So a few things that we need to know about when you're a first-time student, especially you new guys coming in. So classes that start on the 19th, we are working diligently to get your funds dispersed if you registered late. You must be in 6 credit hours for your loans to be activated, and that must be at the same time. So if you have a class that starts on the 19th, but you don't have another one until it's in October, November, we're not going to disperse those loans until you're in 6 credit hours. If you're a first-time loan borrower, it's 30 days after classes start date that they issue funds. If you're not a first-time loan borrower, you're probably not a new student, and you know the drill. Some other things to keep in mind, we have a work study program, and we have lots of departments that we want to get
Yes.
work studies in. I know, Maricelli. Woo, woo.
I need to.
I know you got 2, didn't you?
Well, we're working on it. Yes. But
We're working on it. Okay. We've been interviewing like crazy this last couple weeks. So if you've applied for work study, please be patient. We currently have something like 80, I think 85 was the last count, but that was a couple days ago. So we could have more. So we are working diligently again to get through those. And Shoni Morrow is our coordinator for that. So if you have questions, please contact her. Let's see, what else do we have? Do we have any questions about financial aid specifically?
I know we had some before, but there was a lot of questions with regards to how do they get materials if their financial aid hasn't been approved yet, like how can they get paid for that, all that fun stuff.
So what happens is we disperse funds over to the business office once we process you if it's a late processing. So right now it is considered a late processing because we disperse funds 10 days prior to classes start date, which for us, for the 19th classes, would have been the 9th. So right now it's considered the late portion of us processing. A couple of other things, they need to be on an active degree program. If they're not on an active degree program or they have recently gotten on an active degree program, come see us and let us know because we don't get that update until you tell us. One of the things that has been tripping up our students has been the housing intent. So there is a spot under your financial aid section, under your checklist for the 24-25. Under the 24-25 for the checklist called the housing intent. The new 24-25 FAFSA does not ask that question anymore for us. So we need that information in order to create a budget for our students. So that's been tripping up our students. So if you go to your Eagle self-service under your financial aid section for the 24-25 academic year, you will see under the checklist, and it comes in a drop-down menu. Your options are on campus, off campus, or with parents. All we need to know is one of those 3 things. From the time you put that information in, it takes us about 3 to 5 business days to pull it in. So be aware, if you're filling it out today, you may not have funds for Monday. So that's important to know. This year, they're also adjusting the amounts that are being dispersed based on the number of credit hours that you're in. It used to be a quarter of a time, so 3 credit hours, you would get so much money. Half time, you would get so much money, which would be half of your Pell. 3/4 time, which would be 9 credit, you would get 3/4 of your Pell, and 12 credit hours is considered full time for financial aid for those that don't know. Now they will even give you funds if you are in a 1 credit hour class. So that kinesiology class that's 1 credit hour, they will still disperse funds for you as long as you qualify for full Pell. And then if you're in, say, 7 credit hours, it's a little bit more than if you were just half time. So it is adjusting, and this is the new disbursement process as far as Department of Education. What else? Oh, your books and your supplies. So what happens is we disperse funds over to the business office. Business office takes whatever it needs for tuition, fees, etc. Whatever is left over, if you have a negative balance, this is important, if you have a negative balance, that is money that you can utilize over at the bookstore using your student ID card or your student ID if you're ordering online to purchase your books. If
Can
your
you
financial
explain
aid,
negative balance? And the only reason I'm interrupting you to say
Yeah.
that is that I've had a lot of people ask, like, well, it's negative. Does that mean that, you know, I owe that much? Like, can you please explain when they see negative versus
so the way the business office does their calculations is first they have your tuition rate. Then they have the financial aid. So they subtract the financial aid, they subtract the smaller portion from the larger portion, and then it gives you the negative that's left over. So you have, so for example, you have 300 or 400 for a 3 credit hour class, I think is what it is, isn't it? Something along those lines.
yes?
Something close to that. Anyway, we disperse $925 for a 3 credit hour class if you're full Pell. So it's going to show a negative balance at the end. And if you look on your Eagle self-service under your student finance section, if you go down and you click on the fall 2024, it will expand. And when it expands, you'll see a couple of circles. So the first circle is going to be your tuition. There's going to be a subtraction sign. The next section will be your financial aid or waivers or sponsorships, whatever you might have. And then there'll be an equal sign and then the last balance. So that negative amount that's left over, that's money you can utilize to go to the bookstore.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That was my main question. I'm sorry, I interrupted
Yeah,
you
no
before,
problem.
but I just remembered that we had individuals that were having that kind of question. I was like, ooh. Let's see. Please, in addition to federal Pell Grant, do you have other grants, and how do I qualify?
So yes, we do have a couple other grants. We have the CTC set aside and we have the Texas Education Opportunity Grant currently. For those, you need to fill out the Texas State Grant form through the eTreef. There's a series of questions. You answer those questions, you submit it. Our coordinator will go through those and then determine your eligibility. The Texas Education Grant funds are not coming in until September, and at that time, they will let you know.
Okay. Am I able to take courses at more than one school? Ooh, that's a good one.
Not and use financial aid. You cannot have financial aid at 2 schools.
Can you explain, though, the agreement with, like, if they're taking classes in Texas A&M?
Oh, okay, yeah, sure. So
You
we
know,
have what's called a consortium agreement. It's an agreement through with Texas A&M, and Texas A&M isn't the only college that we do consortium agreements with. You might want to talk to our consortium agreement folks upstairs in the VA office. Carmen Lopez, she's the one who handles our consortium agreement, so she would know a little bit more about it than I would. But the way the consortium agreement works is, so for example, your parent school would be the 4-year college, Texas A&M, and you would get your financial aid over there. However, what you take over here at CTC would count towards your financial aid over there. So if you were taking 6 credits here and 6 credits there, it would be counted as 12 credit hours over at A&M.
yes. Let's see. Can anyone apply for the Texas State Grant?
For the Texas State Grant, again, there's questions on the form. As long as you qualify under those questions, yes.
I already have a bachelor's degree and I'm seeking another associate's degree. Are there any grant options for me?
Currently, no, because all of our grants, you have to be under a certain amount of credit hours in order for you to qualify. If you have a bachelor's degree, you've already reached that max. However, there are scholarships available. So this is something to mark on your calendars for our new students because the fall ones just closed July 31st. So the scholarship portal will open up December 1st of this year. This is for the 25-26 academic year.
So make sure that you guys do that. And you would apply through the foundation, the CTC Foundation. They oversee those scholarships. And I highly recommend that everybody apply, regardless of whether or not you think you might get one. Oh, let's see. Wow, we got some good questions today. Colin, I know you're asking about your history class. We'll talk about that with advising in a little bit about what you can do. So when the advisors come on in, we can go ahead and answer that with you. Okay, they can help you out. Let's see. Any other questions that we might have regarding financial aid? Going once. Let's see, where are we? How about, can you explain a little bit about how students can use any leftover money with the bookstore? How could that work for them?
Okay, so typically they'll either need a student ID card if they're on campus, off campus, or distance loaner, they can utilize their student ID number through the bookstore website, and it will link to their financial aid account through the business office. And they'll take it directly out of there if they have funds available.
And usually that's the 10 days prior, right?
Yes. So typically, as long as you're registered for classes by that 10-day mark, we will release funds that is 10 days prior to classes start date. So if you're registered now for a class that says, say that starts October 15th, I don't know if there's any classes starting October 15th. I'm using that as an example. If you're registered for a class that starts October 15th, we would disperse funds October 5th.
Just to confirm, the negative balance is what we can use to get our books, and then the rest is what we get refunded.
Correct. And that is typically, the business office tells us 30 days after classes start date is when they start doing the refund processes.
Yes. And can you explain what we recommend to get that refund? What we recommend that they do in Eagle Self-Service?
Yes, this is important. So you will need to link your banking account information on the Eagle Self-Service in order to get it refunded directly to you. So direct deposit, that's the way to go. Either that or they're going to snail mail you a check. Those are your two options.
And I'll say this because I've seen this happen. The issue with snail mail is, one, it's snail mail, and then two, if you move and you forget to change your address with CTC and stuff, it's gonna go. We get a lot of checks get kicked back, and we're actually trying to pay you, and we just don't have the correct address for you. So to avoid all those issues, direct deposit is highly recommended. I personally like to get my money pretty quickly in the bank. Let's see. Do you think a new student can actually get approved for one of those scholarships?
It's possible. Like I said, December 1st is when they open. We have quite a few scholarships that are out there when the scholarship portal opens up. We have a ton of students that are just graduating that came in with scholarships that they applied for last December through March. So I definitely think it's a possibility.
We are going to have somebody talk about GI Bills, so just hang in there, Valeria.
Also, a side note about the Texas state grants, I wanted to make sure that I address this. The main requirement is you have to be a Texas state resident for those.
Ariel, I'm not necessarily a new student as I took college classes at a different school 10 plus years ago, but I am new with CTC. Does the new student still apply?
I would think so, because you're a new student to us, right?
Yeah. So I'm not sure what you're trying to apply it for, but
yes, VA will be on in a little while.
Yeah, they'll for CTC it can. Now, if you want to get services like through like a coach or something like that, and for some reason you don't get, added into the program, you can always just go talk to them and say, hey, I've been out of college for a long time. Can you just add me to anything and everything we do? And then we'll go from there. All right. Anything else? I think we're at time right now.
I think so.
All right. And I see that Jen is ready. Jen, I see you're here. Are you ready?
Can y'all hear me?
Yes, welcome.
Okay.
Thank you,
Okay.
Stacy. Okay, come on in, Jen. Tell us about VA and how students can use their VA benefits to get their classes paid for.
Absolutely. So I'm Jen. I'm with Veteran Services, and we are located in the same building as financial aid and the new student success. So if you qualify for VA benefits, or if you don't know if you qualify for VA benefits, feel free to come see us up here. A few different things. Mariceli, would you mind pulling those slides up for me?
I sure will.
While she's doing that, we have a lot of different things that we can offer up here. We have not just the Veteran Services Department. We also have 2 counselors here from the VRNE program that are ready and willing to help students. Hazelwood is also located up here, and there we go. So these are our 4 basic kind of chapters that we deal with. So Chapter 35 is the Dependents Education Assistance, and it's for children, spouses, veterans, or service members who have passed or are MIA or have disabilities. We've also got the Montgomery GI Bill. That's for individuals who have served at least 2 years on active duty. Chapter 33, the Post 9/11, that's for those who have served on active duty after September 10th of 2001. And you can also transfer that to your dependents as well. And then we've got Chapter 31, which is our VRNE, and we've got the counselors up here who can help with that. If you have already applied for your benefits with the VA and received a certificate of eligibility, then you're good to go on the VA side. If you have not done that yet, you will go to va.gov to apply for your benefits. Now, unfortunately, if you have not applied for your benefits yet and you've got Chapter 33 or Chapter 31, that it can take up to 30 days for the VA to process those. So those benefits are not going to take effect for the Monday start date. But as far as Chapter 35 and 30, those only pay a monthly housing allowance as well as a book stipend. So those ones are not quite as crucial that you haven't received that certificate of eligibility yet, but we still want to make sure that that gets done. So this is a good screen to take a screenshot of. This gives you the basic instructions on how to go through and apply for those benefits through the VA. Again, if you have any questions in regards to that, I will add my contact information for the department down in the chat here shortly. So once you apply for your benefits and you have gone through the process of registering for your classes, the next most important thing for the Veteran Services Department is going to be your VEC. That's your Veteran Enrollment Certificate. So I know we're coming up on that start date on Monday, but I know we also have a few other start dates for the fall classes. It's not too late to fill that VEC out. That's what's going to tell the Veteran Services Department to tell the VA exactly how many credits you're taking and everything. That's how we certify you and let them know what's going on with your benefits. Also, if you, I know Stacy had spoken a little bit about if you're attending another outside parent college, make sure that you've applied with your parent college to get your Parent Institute letter for us. That's what's going to basically give us permission to certify your time with us through the VA and still go towards that degree. So it's important to get that VEC done as soon as you possibly can. Again, we've got that start date coming up on Monday. And so we want to make sure that we can get you all certified. Right now, we're certifying 24, 48 hours. As Monday comes around, it may be a little bit longer than that, but we are still trying to stay on top of things and make sure that we get things done for you guys as quickly as possible. I had a couple of questions about Hazelwood. If you don't know what Hazelwood is, that is a Texas-specific, and I will answer that question in just one moment. Hazelwood is a Texas-specific benefit. So if your home of record is Texas, then you may qualify for the Hazelwood benefit. You can get all the information on Hazelwood on the CTC website. Unfortunately, that's not my specific department. So I am more than happy to get that information to you. Again, you can call our department. We can get you transferred over to Ms. Carmen in the Hazelwood area. So does Chapter 33 pay a stipend and housing as well as the courses? Yes, you do get they will send a monthly housing allowance. Now, with the monthly housing allowance, that is dependent on numerous things. So it's going to be dependent on if you're taking courses in person or all online. It's also going to be dependent on if you are part-time, full-time, whatever the case may be. So again, we have some more specific information on that online on how much that benefit might pay to you. But for the more detailed specifics on that, you would have to talk to VA directly. We can kind of give you an idea based on your schedule, but ultimately the VA will get that taken care of. So as far as when the Chapter 35 benefits will be dispersed, those generally 30 days after your start date, they will get those dispersed. So they do monthly and they do post. So the benefits for August will probably be paid that first or second week of September. But again, that's a VA specific question. Unfortunately, we don't have the access to their exact pay dates and everything on that.
Do I start my class on Monday while the VA processes my post 9/11?
So give us a call and we can look specifically into that. If you've already processed your VEC, if we've already processed your VEC, then it depends. If we've already put you into the system and coded you as a VA student. So once I put my information down there, go ahead and drop us an email because I'll need your I'll need your specific information, your student ID and stuff to look further into that for you. But I don't drop that in the chat or anything because we don't need to be sharing our personal information in there. And then, Sally, do we have a slide?
Yes.
After this? Always remember, anytime that you register for new classes, we have to have a new VEC. That's because every time you register, we're letting them know exactly what classes, how many hours, and without that information, we don't have anything to trigger us to certify classes for you. If you drop or withdraw from a class, let us know. You can send us an email if you withdraw from a class and add a new class, and you're doing a new VE, add that into the notes on the VE. But always, 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 as soon as you register for classes, do that VEC. Register as soon as you can for those classes and get that VEC in as soon as possible. That way we can avoid any delays in getting your benefits paid out to you. And then there's one on there for VRNE.
Oh,
There's our contact information if you want to take a screenshot of that. Then if there's one for James on here.
look, I
Okay.
updated it.
Okay, so we've got 2 VA representatives up here in our department. We've got Mr. Morgan and Mr. Davis, and they are an amazing resource that we've been able to utilize here at CTC, not just for questions that we may have for the VA, but for our students. If we have a student coming in who's maybe just getting out of the military, trying to figure out how to access their benefits and what benefits are best to utilize, they're going to be the ones that we refer y'all to. They can help not only navigate what benefits you might be available to you, but they can go a little bit beyond education as well. So they're there to help primarily disabled veterans kind of navigate exactly what schooling they may be qualified for that's not going to affect their rating or anything, as well as they can also give you resources for other programs like dental, medical, things like that, because they work directly for the VA and not TC. They've kind of got that inside for veterans and their families. I do see one more question on here.
This is a really good question, and I actually think we should probably have started the whole process with this, but this is an amazing question. Is being in school full-time the same as with a job? 40 hours a week, or is it based on how many classes? Asking due to duration to VA benefits.
Okay, so CTC considers full-time for the 16-week course, 12 hours. So that's what we base the VA full-time on as well. So that's going to be 12 credit hours. Now, it gets a little bit more tricky depending on if you're taking an 8-week course or a 10-week course. And that's something that if that relates to you specifically, it's best to come in and talk to somebody about it, because I'm a very visual person. I like to draw graphs and tell you this is when you'll be full-time, this is part-time, So if you are under that 16 weeks, which is the start date of Monday the 19th through, I believe it is December 13th is the end of that first 16 weeks. Then 12 hours is going to be what your full-time status is. Otherwise, again, every person's going to be a little bit different, so it's best to come in or call us so that we can try and help get you to understand exactly when you'll be full-time, part-time, quarter-time, whatever the case may be. Is there any other questions that we have for veteran services?
I don't see any questions right now, but I do want to make a comment and I want to expand on that because her question was specific to VA and you did answer that. But I do want to kind of explain a little bit also the fact it's 12 credit hours, because usually if you're doing, if you're doing a long semester, for example, it should be that you're doing, most classes are 3 credits. So you should be doing at least your 3 hours during the week in the classroom. And you should be doing just as much, if not more, outside of the classroom to be able to study for those 3 hours.
And you also bring up another really good point, because for VA, in order to be full-time, and for like the housing allowance, you have to be taking that one class at least in person. So 12 hours, but if you're looking in regards to the housing allowance, that one class needs to be as well. And then, sorry, continue, Maricela.
No. And so just, it's something that all the students just need to be aware of. I was going to say, do you want to do a plug-in for your work study program?
Yep, just kind of how Maricela is looking for work studies. We too are looking for work studies every term. So if you guys are interested in, work study and you are a VA student, let us know. Up here, fill out an application, and we'll process it and do that. I believe that our process is a little bit different than the general college process. So feel free to reach out to us if you're interested. Send us an email, and we will get that information over to you.
Great. Really quick, this is a good question. Are blended lecture classes considered in person?
Yes.
Good. And then Ariel wanted to ask, how do you apply for work study?
So for veteran services, we have an application that's in person, like a actual paper application. So that's how our process is, because it does have to go through the VA and be approved through the VA. Maricela, I'm not 100% on how the other work study programs work. So that
I think financial aid, there is an e-form for that. Because I had somebody ask me about that. But yes, those are the two main ones. But contact the department for financial aid is Shoni Morrow, and then for VA, who's your?
Really any of us. I know that Brian.
Any of you? Okay.
Yeah, any of us.
So that main email was a good one that we showed a little while ago. Okay.
Yep.
Your hours of operation.
Hours of operation, that's going to be the standard CTC hours. That's Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 5:30, and Friday is 7:30 to 11:30.
Great. All right. Let's see. Wow, you guys are on fire today with the questions. I am loving this. I really am. You all don't understand. This makes me happy when you guys are interactive and you have questions. All right. So let's see here.
I'm not seeing any other questions right now for veteran services. I will be on for the remainder of the meeting. So if you guys have anything, feel free to pop it in there, and I will continue to monitor. So that is all for us.
Okay.
Great.
My screen went to audio only mode, so I don't see where I can type in my question, but I had a question for the VA.
Okay.
So I had a form that I wanted to purchase the laptop from, but they pay for the other things that's not in the bookstore or whatever that we need for class. But it's saying with my form, I need to put something from the school that says the type of computer laptop that I need. So I was thinking like, I have 2 online classes and I have 2 in person, so I need the laptop. But like, how do I get something that describes the type of laptop that I need?
So what I'm going to have you do, Leslie, is when I drop that information in there, go ahead and give us a call after the meeting so that we can figure out, because I'm not quite sure exactly what form you're talking about. So I might have you email me a copy of it so that I can take a look at it.
Okay.
But again, we can talk face to face on that. I will take your name down and give you a call afterwards as well. But don't again don't put your personal information in there. But I will write your information down and look for you.
Can you email? Can you put your email down so she can email you directly her info?
Absolutely.
So right now it's only letting me see audio only.
Oh yeah. Okay. So the email address is veteran.services
Okay.
at ctc.edu.
Okay.
And so we will get all that information in the chat. But I took your name down as well, so I will find your information and reach out to you here.
Okay.
this afternoon, okay?
Alrighty, thank you.
Okay, so Isabella has a question. I'm a dependent of a veteran, but I'm not in contact with him at the moment. Is it possible to use his GI Bill?
So you would have to have it sent to you. It would have to be sent, dispersed to you. Sorry, I lost the words there for a second. So if you are, if they have possibly assigned benefit to you in the past, the best thing I can recommend is going to that va.gov. Again, I'll put all this information in the chat here shortly, but going to that va.gov, you can go through the application process, and worst case scenario, it says you're not approved at this time. It doesn't hurt you to apply. I've had people apply and not realize they had benefits, and they had benefits. So that's my greatest suggestion, is to go there. But there's also other programs such as the MyCAA that spouses of veterans or current service members can also utilize. So there's a lot of different things out there that dependents and everything can utilize. So, and I think we're definitely at the end of our time here for the veteran services. But
You're good. You're good. Any last minute questions? Because you still actually have 4 minutes in theory.
4 minutes. If you have any questions, again, just drop them down there in the chat. I'll keep an eye on it, and I will either respond down there, or I will get your name and look you up in our database and reach out to you later this afternoon.
Great. Okay. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
I don't know if I know advising is running a little bit late, and I don't know if I don't see them here yet. But Cindy, are you there? Cindy, I know it's a little great.
I'm here.
I know it's a little bit before your time, but I was
That's
wondering,
okay. I'm always ready.
You're ready. All right. So, do you need me to show your video?
Yeah.
Or do you want to talk first?
It should be showing. It's not showing?
No. I'm not. I haven't shown it yet. I wanted to check.
Oh, show the video. Go for it. Go for it.
Okay, guys.
Please.
Oh, you know what? I'm going to do something very, very quickly.
And while she's doing that, let me explain something. We use these crazy videos teaching library seminars on how to research, how to do essays, how to do citation, just all of these things, both in classes and in person. So when you see this video, just picture a dinosaur walking across our website with helicopters and lots of fail videos. And that's kind of how we go ahead and teach. Well, we have two different ways of teaching. We have a lecture style, and then we have this for the much bigger classes. So I can still keep talking if if you need me to.
I just want to make sure. Do you see it?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Well, that's us. We are the library. We are not scary people. We don't shush you. We are here to help everyone. No, there's no question out there that you should be afraid to ask us, because we are on call every single day, which means that if you have a question, hit that Ask a Librarian button that's on our website and we will answer it, even Thanksgiving and Christmas. We also will help you with the research, and guys, y'all are going to have to write a lot of papers. Don't panic, because that's what librarians do. We know citation and grammar. And so what we'll do is we'll look it over. We'll give you some suggestions. We'll check your citations. They're a little confusing. They change every year, make us crazy too, but we'll look at it for you and we'll go ahead and get you going with that. A lot of other things that we do at the library. I didn't realize I had 20 minutes. See, last time I thought I only had 2 minutes. So there we go. I can tell you all about our stuff. We have, yeah.
I'll cut you off at some point.
It's cut me off at a point. We we have a computer lab. You can rent laptops from us. We have free scanners. We have study rooms, a meditation room. We're actually talking about trying to get some study pods. We're trying to stay ahead of everybody and what everybody needs. And that's kind of sort of what librarians do, because, like we have databases, so we know this stuff is, coming up down the road. And we also have books. Got to tell you, we have books. But, we pretty much, if you want us to get something, we can go ahead and see about purchasing it as well.
Can you talk a little bit about just the fact, because we have a lot of people here that are online as well, that are not physically here. Like, what are your services for those students that maybe are not here in Central Campus or near us?
Same stuff, basically. We can do seminars. You want to ask us a question, you can email us the question, but we will get into a WebEx just like this is, and we will show you where to find everything. We have virtual seminars. We encourage you guys to get involved in our contests, the byways, the rotating student art competition. We are set up to do global students because we're the only library for CTC, which means we've been talking to our distance students forever. And so we will have that available to you. And even our club, we have a Writers Guild club. It's also virtual because we do a combination of virtual and in person at the same time. So, everything you need, if you need a book, an actual physical book, we have interlibrary loan. So we will mail you the book. So the books are here. We have mostly ebooks, mostly e-journals. And so there's nothing you're missing out of here except the meditation room. Just find a room in your house and, find it quiet. But other than that, we've got all the services for you. And, if you are worried about that, just send us an email at reference requests at ctcd.edu. The easier way to remember it, though, is to go to our website and hit Ask a Librarian. It's the same thing as sending us that reference request email.
So somebody's asking about, yes, somebody's asking about Saturdays. They say, oh, that's my free day, bummer. I can't go to the library. Can you answer that?
Yes. We're still on call for you. You can't physically get in our building because we are closed. We're sorry about that. We tried to coordinate with public libraries, and most public libraries are open on Saturday, but not open on a Sunday. We are open on a Sunday to kind of balance off where you can go for a library setting. So that's why we're closed on Saturdays. But again, our services are still available through the Ask a Librarian and the paper review on Saturdays. One other thing, we have a 24-hour turnaround time on those paper reviews. If you've not heard from us within that 24 hours or 10 hours or, a very long time, get on that Ask a Librarian link and say, hey, don't want to bother you, but I just want to check to see if you got my paper. There's been only 2 in the 5 years I've been here instances where it didn't come through for some reason, like it was a glitch in an Eagle Mail or something. And we didn't know, we didn't see it. So, take the responsibility to check on it if you've not heard from us, because all of us are on call every day. I mean, we're not all on call every day, but one of us is, and there's a lot of us here. And so we should be able to get your paper back to you. So are there any other questions?
Yeah, there was a
Now my
question about the
answer on
laptops.
site. Yeah, well, we do. If you are a CTC student, yes, you can come into the library. Unfortunately, you got to start off in the library, check out a laptop with your CTC ID. You will need to renew it, but you allowed to renew it. And we're working on getting more laptops so that we'll have a lot available to you. We have both in-house use and you can take it home use. So yeah, we do have that. The whole school or the whole school year. It's just at a weekly renewal rate. So it's just for when you need it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Okay. All right. Are there any other questions?
Wow.
I know that libraries, tend to be like a scary place. I promise you, none of us are scary. None of us, we'll all appreciate your question. And we're very nice people.
And I will say, I always say this, and if you've heard my spiel, I'm sorry, but here I go again. I didn't even know at one point I had to do a citation for YouTube. I had no idea how to do that. And I went over there. I was like, I need help. I don't know how to do this. And they were amazing and sat me down and was like, this is how you do it. And make sure you do this, make sure you do that. Showed me where to find it if I need it again so I could reference it again. So seriously, they're like a really nice bunch of people over there and they just want to help. It's kind of like a librarian thing, at least in our library. It's like you have to have the desire to help.
Well, if you'll notice on all the videos that I do, I have about a 2-page long attrition list of where I got every free download from. We'll keep you from getting in trouble with plagiarism and all that fun stuff.
Can you talk a little bit about the Allied Health room? Because that's something that's really special.
For our nursing students, we have an Allied Health room and an app. What the app will do, and we have that on our website under the Allied Health room, where it'll rotate. It'll show you like circulation systems and bone systems and structure systems. If you're able to get close to our library, there's a room where you can actually check out body parts, not real ones, fake ones. And so you can have it in person or you can have this app. It's called the Visible Body app. And it is amazing with all the 3D that it does. You can see inside the bodies. This will help you. We also have a HESI 2 test. So you can do all your practices through our databases in HESI 2. If you have any trouble with accessing the databases, you should not. But if you do, definitely seek our help out and we will get you into that database. We have some cool databases.
Can you talk also about the TSI help? Because you have there's a lot of places on campus where you can get assistance to be able to pass your TSI test. And we'll talk about like the academic studio and stuff. But
Yes.
Can you tell us, because there's a whole thing that you guys can help with?
We have a whole list through our Learning Express database. We have an entire list of practice tests where you can, we also have the actual physical books, but the online ones are way more updated. And you can just take all the practice that you want over here. You'd be surprised. We have, databases that, if you need a legal form, we got it. If you need, car repair, we've got it. We've got open access databases where you can just read entire books. And if you're having trouble paying for your textbook, a lot of the professors will leave us one book, and we have those as reference. You can free scan it, and I mean, not the whole book at one time, but so we have a lot of options if you are having trouble with all of that as well, as all the scholarships and all the fun stuff we do here, which is amazing.
Yes, and Cindy's really dynamic about making sure that you guys are aware and have activities and just really enjoy being in the library. So take advantage of everything they have to offer.
Yeah, and one more thing. I'm sorry, the lights went off. It must be time for me to go. But speaking, you said events. To qualify for our library scholarship, one of the things is you have to attend an event. That may be you just register for an event, an online event, and watch it. So make sure you check out our events page as well, because they got some really fun stuff. Okay.
Oh,
and I think I'm done because my lights went out.
Right. I see that. Yeah. No, this is great. Thank you so much, Cindy, for this. I hope that everybody takes the opportunity of going to see you and actually check out what you have to offer over there in the library. Regardless of where you're located, we really hope that you'll take the opportunity to do that. All right, let's see. I know Advising sent a message. They're running a little bit late, but they're going to be here in a little bit. So what we're going to do is we're going to continue, and I am going to share some slides quickly, just to make sure that we are covering everything and that we're not missing anything important. Let's see, share. This is not the one I'm looking for. This one. Okay. So really quick, we've talked about scholarships. This is how you can request scholarships, and I want to make sure that you guys have this link. Again, this is one of those, hey, take a pic, so that way you know where to go. And as mentioned, it is going to be in December 1st. We're opening up for the next scholarship. And then I'm going to move forward already because we talked to Jen. And Advising is coming in a little bit. Oh, here we go. I'm getting a little important date. So if you need to know, like when the next set of classes begins, when registration opens, all of that, I'm going to give you a hot tip right now. Look at the class schedule that is in here. Make sure that you have that down. And then you're going to put it in your calendar. At midnight, actually the day before, you're going to prep all your classes and you're going to go into Eagle Self-Service, and Advising will go over that. You're going to find your classes, you're going to identify them, you're going to put them in your cart, kind of like you're purchasing something from Amazon. You're going to put them in your cart. And then at midnight after midnight of the day that they open, that's when you can go ahead and quote unquote purchase it or actually register for the course. So I want you to do that so that you can get into those classes that are important for you. This is a very special, very important, especially for the science classes, anatomy, physiology. Those of you that are wanting to do nursing and need to take some of these courses, that's how you get into these classes. You get in at midnight, you put your alarm clock, you hit register, you get into your class, and then you go back to sleep. That's how you get that done. So make sure that you're looking at these schedules so that you can be prepared and know when you need to go ahead and do that. Paying for classes, and we'll talk about that as well, but here are some things. This is the ways that we pay for classes. If you have registered for your class already and have not paid, you need to do that pretty quickly. because otherwise they will drop you from the classes, especially if they're starting now on the 19th. It's within that 10-day window before the classes begin. And if you haven't paid for your classes, they're going to drop you to give somebody else a chance to get into that class. So very important. You can pay through Eagle Self-Service, VA benefits we've talked about, scholarships that you may have received, tuition assistance if you're in the military or some other employment. You can also, if you're here in Texas and you need to get yourself on a payment plan so that you can start that rolling, you can do that as well. And you can contact the business office if you have any questions. So please, this is another one of those that you might want to just take a quick screenshot. If you are a tuition assistant, active duty military, and you need to pay for your classes using TA, please send it to this email. Screenshot this one. This is an important one for you. This is how you're going to pay for your class. You have to send your tuition assistance form into this email right here. We're also going to need your joint services transcript, and we need you to go ahead and send it to us. This is the information here. And if you have questions, regardless of where you're located, Eagles on Call can help you via email. Make sure that you also include your student ID, so that they know who you are. And it's always preferable for you to contact them through using your CTC email, your Eagle mail. That way they will know that that's you. It's one of the best ways for them to know that it is you. If you don't, they may not be able to assist you in the same way. It just makes it a lot easier to verify your identity if you use the actual email CTC has given you. Let's see. I am not sure if Eva's here because I cannot see. But can somebody, if she comes in, let her know that she can just interrupt me? Okay. Because otherwise we're going to talk about resources. We have a lot of resources on campus, and we're going to talk about quite a few of them. Student life and assistance, that's who student life and activities, that's who I am. That's who I oversee. And so we have a lot of clubs, organizations. We have a student lounge here in our central campus. So you are welcome to come and participate out of all of those. We also have quite a few other departments that are willing to help you and kind of support you. And these are some of them right here. As you can see, the library, we have tutoring in our academic studio, and they can do tutoring in person or virtually. And so if you have questions, again, this is that S-Success email with the phone number if you want to talk to them.
Regarding our communication payment.
Okay. Julie, is that you? I don't know if she meant to talk to me. Okay. Let's see. Ron, are you there? Hello.
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Yes, I
You
am.
ready? You ready?
Yes.
Take it away.
There we go.
So guys, this is Ron Porter. He is currently one of our mental health counselors here on campus, and we're always happy to have him on board.
Right. Thank you. And welcome. We are open throughout the business week and available for you to come by our office if you need any counseling services. We provide individual, group, family counseling. We also have AA and OA groups. Let's see, let's go to the next slide. This is not working. There we go. Thank you. Your talks with us are private and free of charge. We do not share your information with anyone without your permission. Sometimes we might need to let someone know if there's a risk of harm to yourself or someone else. This is rare, but your safety is our top priority. Your counselor is here to create a safe space for you to discuss your concerns, and we do that in a confidential way. We appreciate the diversity of everyone, of course, and no matter the background, if you need more help than we can provide, we will help you and help you find the right place to get it. Why come and see us? All kinds of emergency situations can come up. Suicidal thoughts, anger management issues, domestic violence, stress management, feelings of being overwhelmed, relationship issues. All these things can come up in just the normal everyday life of being a student. So don't be ashamed of that. Reach out for help, and there are people here that can help you. Let's see. I think we went over the rest of that. Go to the next slide. Some of the groups that we have and workshops that we offer, you'll see flyers around campus on the bulletin boards. Mindfulness Hour, it's a group that's dedicated to helping students reduce stress and improve focus through regular mindfulness practices. It's all research-based and will help you deal with some of the stress. Every Monday, every Monday during the fall semester from 12 to 1 p.m. at the Wellness and Counseling Services Building, number 264. We're the White Rock house that's between Eagle Hall and the planetarium. Wellness Wednesday is a weekly group that's designed to provide a supportive and empowering space for students seeking to enhance their overall well-being and find balance in their life. Every Wednesday from 2 to 4 p.m., also located at our Wellness and Counseling Services building. Right. Next slide. And here's our contact information if you want to take a picture of it. Any questions?
Let's see. I don't see any specific. So thank you, Ron. I appreciate it. Everybody needs to take advantage of this.
Hey, Mariceli, just so you know, I did tell Eva to interrupt. Okay.
Oh, Mariceli, you're muted right now.
Thank you, Bea, because I just started talking to you about wellness and counseling and how amazing they are, and you didn't hear a thing. Thank you, Bea. So yes, they're amazing. You need to take advantage of it. They're free, guys. If you go out there to get counseling, it's very expensive. This is free for our students. They can help you with a lot of things, and I highly recommend everybody go in there and just introduce yourself, because you will have a crisis at some point during your college career. It's just going to happen. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Something's going to come up, whether it be a class-related thing. It could also be just something as simple as, you know what, there's something that happened in the family. I'm having a hard time managing everything. They're the ones you got to talk to. So anyway. That's me in my little soapbox. I don't think Tom is here because I think he's working right now in, he's got move-in. But I'm going to talk really, really quickly about Residence Hall. And the residence, we actually have a residence hall here on our central campus, which is not something that's very common to community colleges in general. And the great thing about it is that any of our students, as long as you are a full-time student, can come in here, request to live in the residence hall. There are some requirements. You have to have a meningitis shot, and you also have to be able to pass a background check. And if you qualify, then you're going to be able to actually live in the residence hall. They have single rooms and double rooms. And it's a co-ed environment. So once you live in the residence hall, that also includes 15 meals a week, which is really 3 meals Monday through Friday. Free laundry. There's a study room and game room, and then there's free internet. And they're pretty active in here. They actually have a lot of opportunities, and they like to have a lot of fun just in the residence hall with everybody there. So if you have any questions, you are welcome to contact the residence hall manager. His name is Tom Weaver, and his email is residence.hall@ctcd.edu. Check it out. Come check it out. Now, Christy, are you there?
I'm here, Maricela. Can you hear me?
Yes, thank you. Can you please tell everybody, we already kind of mentioned a little bit about disability support services earlier, but can you go into it a little bit more in depth, please?
Sure. We have a disability office located on our central campus, and what we do is we help our students who have disabilities with classroom accommodations. In order to qualify for our services, you do have to have a disability under the Americans with Disability Act. That means you have to have a physical or mental impairment that impacts a significant life activity, such as learning, communication, walking, talking. There's a lot of different life activities that would qualify. You do have to self-identify to our office because we cannot ask students if you have a disability. So that's the main thing that you have to do is you have to come to us to let us know that you do have a disability. You do have to provide documentation to us. The documentation has to state what your disability is, what life activities affected, how the diagnosis was determined, how it affects you in a learning environment, as well as what accommodations you may need. You also have to complete our intake process, which is done through the e-forms. And you do have to request accommodations every semester. You can request them at any time, but we do recommend that you do it at the start of the semester because the accommodations are not retroactive. And accommodations are based on a student's disability as well as what class you're taking. Next slide, Mariceli, please.
Before we go to the next slide, can you
Sure.
explain a little bit about the difference between high school? Because I know we have some students in here right now that I think were dual credit, and now they're not anymore. So can you explain the
Right.
difference between high school versus college?
Sure. The main difference is at the high school level, your school is responsible for identifying you as a disability student. Again, at the college level, you do have to self-identify to us. And that does apply to early college, high school, STEM, dual credit, because you are earning college credit. So you do have to self-identify to us, and you do have to provide us with the documentation and follow the same process as any other college student. Some of the differences between accommodations between high school and college is in high school, you might get something called a 504 or IEP plan, where they may modify your curriculum or they may modify your tests or assignments, and that's not something that's done at the college level. You do receive accommodations for your classes, but you still are expected to complete all the same coursework as all other students. So the accommodations might be extra testing time, note-taking assistance, sign language interpreter, assisted listening devices. Again, it's just dependent upon what your disability is and what class you're taking. So it's important to self-identify to us so we can talk to you about your individual situation, your accommodations, and your disability. So those are the main differences there.
Thank you.
Sure. And again, we talked about some of the reasonable accommodations. You might get extra testing time, a separate testing area. We do have a testing office in our area where students can test with us. A test reader, note taker, sign language interpreter. Again, we would have to talk to you about what your disability is to see what you would qualify for. We do have accommodations for classes that are face-to-face as well as online. The accommodations, of course, will be different for online versus in person because, for example, if you're taking an online class, you might not be able to get a note taker because there might not be a lecture portion. So it's just dependent, again, upon the type of class that you have. We do offer accommodations to students worldwide, so it doesn't matter where you're located. As long as you're a CTC student and you qualify for services, we can help you with accommodations. and the accommodations are free. We do not charge students for any of our services there. We do not provide anything of a personal nature, though. For example, a wheelchair, eyeglasses, a private tutor, but we do have tutoring at the academic studio that's available to all students. We do not provide a personal care attendant. If that's something a student needs, they would have to provide their own personal care attendant and talk to us about the process that they need to follow in order to allow that person to come on campus with them. Another thing that we do is we do help pregnant and parenting students. So if you are pregnant or a parenting student, we can help you with getting absences approved that are medically necessary, as well as a possible leave of absence for a semester. So if that's a situation that you might be in, it's important to reach out to us as soon as possible so we can help you with any absences or anything that you may need as a pregnant or parenting student. We do have appointments available for in-person, telephone, and virtual, and I will put our information in chat, so you're welcome to reach out to us, or any questions that you have, you can type in a chat and we'll be happy to answer those. So if you have any questions or anything, please reach out to us and we'll be happy to assist you.
We do have a question. Are service animals allowed in the class?
Yes, service animals are allowed in classrooms under ADA. You do not have to register your service animal with us per ADA regulations. However, we can ask that you do provide us with the verification of rabies vaccination for service animal. If it is an emotional support animal, that is not covered under ADA. So that would only be allowed in housing on campus with approval from us. So if it's an emotional support animal, again, you cannot have it in the classroom, just in campus housing, but you would have to get approval from us, and there's a separate process that you have to follow. And our website does have a section on service animals, emotional support animals, as well as instructions on how to get our services, documentation that's required. So it's a very comprehensive website. So I encourage you to look at that. If you have questions, please reach out to us.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So if anybody needs your services or has further questions, that's their website with their email and their phone number and where you can locate them. So please take a moment, take a screenshot of this because this is gonna be beneficial for you guys. I am going to let you answer that one in the chat, Dr. Shank. Bia, you ready to talk about textbooks and materials assistance? I know you're there.
Yes, I
because I've seen
am.
you.
Yes, sorry, I was waiting for my my camera to turn on. But hello, everybody. My name is Bia Tinsai. I am the Success Program Coordinator here at CTC, and you might be wondering, what does that mean? Well, I'm here to explain that. So, did you know that CTC has a program that can help out students that are in CTE degree plans? And when I say CTE degree plans, I mean if you are in a certificate of completion or an associate of applied science degree, and you meet a couple other financial need requirements, I will be able to either help you out with textbook assistance, childcare assistance, or transportation assistance. I know that these programs can be a really big game changer for students, so feel free to contact me at any point. I'm going to go through some of the requirements for the program, but I will also give out my contact information at the end as well, so that if you have specific questions about like your situation or want more information, you can let me know. So the first thing is that one of the requirements for the success programs are that you need to show demonstrated financial need. And as you can see on the slide, some examples of this can be seen listed on number 2, where if you can show that you have received a Pell Grant, that you receive WIC, TANF, or SNAP food benefits, or if you can provide a 1040 tax document, we can verify your income and that can qualify you for the program. In addition to this, another requirement for our program is that we require at least 6 credit hours for our textbook and transportation assistance program, or 12 hours, which is a full-time schedule for childcare assistance. Another requirement is that you need to have at least a 2.0 GPA. However, if this is your first time enrolling at CTC, then the GPA requirement is waived just for this semester. If you apply the next semester, because this is the type of program where you have to reapply every semester to keep getting assistance, we will consider your GPA starting your second semester here. Let me see. Would you be able to turn to the next slide?
I don't have another slide.
Oh, is that it? Oh, sorry, my bad. I thought there'd be a contact area or something. But you might
There
be
is
wondering
in the
what
bottom.
Oh, okay. Or I was gonna say specifically like my email. I know that that's the general success program's email, but I have my personal email. I'll put it in the chat afterwards. It's no problem. But one thing I was gonna mention specifically is that I get a lot of questions asking what qualifies under textbook assistance. You know, if you qualify for the program, will I be able to buy your textbooks? Will I be able to buy your uniforms for like culinary students? And the answer is, if it's in your syllabus and it's listed as a required material, and it's available at the bookstore, then I will be able to get it for you. Another thing is the transportation assistance. You might be wondering, okay, so what does that cover specifically? So our transportation assistance program can do two different things. So the first is that if you qualify, then you can get $50 per week for each week that you're in an in-person class or internship. And this is given to you through the school, or you can get a hop bus pass instead. That would depend on whatever you'd like, but that's a thing to keep in mind, because we can pay for the gas that it takes for you to come to campus or to your clinicals for nursing students. For childcare assistance, we provide up to $90 per week per child for qualifying students. All of these applications can also be found on eForms. So if you go on like eForms or eTrieve and you look up the specific assistance forms, you'll be able to see them and see the full form to like fill out and submit. The turnaround time depends on how busy things are, but I do get back to every student and stay in pretty close contact with the people that need help with their applications as well. And I'm not afraid to answer questions. And I look forward to hearing from you guys. I really appreciate your time, and thank you.
Thank you very much, Bia. This is a great program, guys, because, you know, anytime we can get something covered for us, I'm all for that personally. So thank you very much. Now, I'm going to stop sharing for a minute and I'm going to check some stuff out, make sure we're doing okay. I'm going to look at something very briefly. I lost it. Interesting. Okay. No, I was looking for. Let me see here. Here it is. Okay. Do we have ultrasound tech programs? I know we are working on something. I don't, but I am not sure that we have that program directly. And I'm not sure. I'm going to say that because I feel like they're working on something. But I'm not sure that it's active as of this time. So I think we're working towards something of that nature. I know we're working on the also trying to get respiratory therapy as part of what we offer as well. But I'm not sure about the ultrasound, or I'm not sure when either one of those programs is going to be active, really. So there's that. All right, so let's see here. I'm going to do something here really quickly. All right, so we're going to keep going, kind of try to keep on track here. Go back. I'm going to talk about something. So you guys know that I've told you I'm the director of student life and activities, and that doesn't necessarily mean a lot to you guys alone. But like I said, we do activities, we do a lot of fun things here on campus. I do a lot of live streaming and kind of share information about services here on the campus. So please look at it. Be aware that that is something that we offer you. And so I am going to see here, see. I am putting in here the link where it has all the info sessions that we're going to be doing the next few weeks that have to do with, that's where like the one that Dr. Reese mentioned, we're going to do Blackboard, we're going to do things on continuing education, we're going to do another one in, there's quite a few things that we're going to be covering. I'm working on hopefully being able to get to do something with regards to AI as well. So we're working quite a few things for you guys. Please be on the lookout. We also have a Discord and we also have a Twitch that we try to stream to. So please be aware, as well as with all the other social media that CTC has. But that's not the only thing that we do. Usually I talk about this a little bit later, but advising is still not here, so I'm going to keep going. I also have another hat, and that is that I'm the main conduct officer for the campus, which means that that I make sure that if there is a situation with a student, it's my job to address it and see what's going on. Hopefully, help you figure out how we can make things better for everyone. So one of the things that also includes is Title IX. And Title IX is a federal law that talks about, I don't know, Larry, are you here? Because I think he was here a little while ago. Maybe not. He's a busy man. But Larry Murphy, he is our Title IX coordinator. He is the person that if you feel that you've ever been discriminated, especially here on campus, any kind of discrimination, including sexual discrimination, or any kind of sexual misconduct, you can actually contact him, and he is our main, what we call Title IX coordinator. He is here to support you. What that support looks like, it could vary. So it could be something as making sure that you are not near the person that has hurt you. We can offer you services like mental health counseling, as well as other things that might be helpful to you depending on the situation. We have a zero tolerance when it comes to any kind of sexual misconduct or discrimination. And so usually it starts with him. And if it's something that has to do with a student, it's also, I am the main investigator for that, and I'll look into it and see what happened and how we can make sure that this doesn't continue to happen, and see if there's anything that we need to do to be able to help the situation. This is his email and as well, so you could take a picture of that. And we also recommend always you contact campus police. They'll be here a little bit later, but in an emergency, they are our first responders, and so they are actual police officers that can assist you. Just because you talk to the Title IX coordinator does not necessarily mean that you have to talk to the police about anything that might have, to do with sexual misconduct, but it is a resource, and we want to make sure that you guys are aware that they are here to help as well if you need it. So there is an online reporting form. This is one of those that you can go ahead and take a pic. You can actually find it in the main website. If you scroll all the way down, there is a place where it says Title IX, and you can actually go there and report any kind of instance of sexual misconduct. It could be yours or it could be somebody else's. You can also do it anonymously. We always prefer that you give us your information so that Larry can actually have a conversation with you and see how we can support you. But overall, that is one of the things you can do, is you can report any kind of sexual misconduct. The other thing is, in that if you scroll down, you also get to see some more information about Title IX and how we can actually help support our students, as well as some general data about our campus. And then there's also this little consent video, and it is I highly recommend it. It's off of YouTube. in the video, actually, what they do is they talk about what consent is compared to tea. You're making tea, you're giving people tea, etc. I highly recommend it. It's very cute. Now, the only thing it does not cover is age. And we have a lot of minors on our campus, so keep in mind that they may look old enough, but they may not be. Also, if you are in Texas, the age of consent is 17. And if you are a dual credit student, or if you are a younger student on our campus, keep in mind that, you know, even though you may have grown up with the same people, if you have a sexual relationship with them and one of them is 16 and one of them is 17, the 17-year-old can get in trouble for that. So keep that in mind. Let's make good choices. And that's one of my main things with that. We also have a student handbook. This is the website for that, and it has all the information and everything that we expect you as a student to be aware of, rights, responsibilities, and some policies that we have to make you be successful and safe on campus. I highly recommend that everybody take a look at it and actually access it. It's a great way for you to be up to date with some of the things that are most important for you as a student. We also have something called the college catalog. Now, the catalog is the document that we use as an institution that includes all your classes that you can take, that CTC can offer, all the classes that we can offer, all the degree plans that we can offer, as well as the rulings for our academics and other things. So this is kind of the college Bible, so to speak. It has all of those rules and regulations that we hold ourselves to, and we expect the students to as well. But this is always good. I always encourage people to have a copy of this. We have them all online, but it is a good document to have because if you start a degree plan and the degree plan is going to be based on one of these college catalogs, you need to know which one it is. So that way, if for some reason you have a stop out and you have to come back and finish a degree, they're going to know what catalog they has to be applied to you and what degree plan. You can also look up and see how many more classes you're missing. If you're like, I don't know what degree plan I want to take or anything like that, it's a little bit more complicated, but it is a way to doing that. Then we have the student expectations, and we've talked about a lot of these things already, so I'm going to kind of briefly go over these. The main one is that you as a student need to advocate for yourself. As a CTC college student, once you're here, we're going to treat everybody the same as an adult. So that means that if you need something, you need to tell us what it is so that we can try to help you. Sometimes we're not, kind of like in the case of disability support services, we're not allowed to ask you, oh, are you, do you have a disability, or is there something that we need to do to help you, like with your disability? We cannot have that conversation with you. However, if you tell us that you have a disability, that's when we can say, oh, you have a disability. Oh, well, then let's try to help you figure out how we can assist you. Have you applied for services through disability support services? You probably need to have a conversation with them. And we can have then those other conversations. But if you don't start the conversation, we can't have that conversation with you. So FERPA is the law. It's very similar to HIPAA in the medical world. For our purposes here in higher education, we have FERPA, and that's that federal law that says that we cannot talk about your records, either conduct or academic, without your consent as a student. So that is why it's very important that you, first of all, give us permission to talk about it. But please understand that if, like, you are a parent, for example, and you contact us saying, oh, what are my kids' grades? Or why did my kid get in trouble? Or even a spouse, we cannot give out any information unless the student has actually in writing giving us permission to do so. So keep that in mind. That's just, we have to follow the law. Syllabus, we've talked about it before. Read it, follow it, do what you got to do. Make sure that you print it out, put it in front of your refrigerator. I don't know, whatever works out for you. But make sure that you're doing what you have to so that you are aware what is expected of your class. Don't miss any classes. Honesty and responsibility with integrity. This is extremely important in all aspects of life, but in the college setting, it is especially important with your classes. So that means you don't cheat, you don't, you don't copy, you follow the instructions when it comes to taking tests and stuff like that. College professors are sticklers for making sure that you do not like do some, copy some information and then don't give credit to the person that actually wrote it. It's called citations. We talked a little bit about that before. The library can help you do it. There's a few places here on campus that can help you with citations. If somebody else helped you, like wrote it and you have to put it into your report, there's a way of doing it. Make sure you're doing that correctly. Otherwise, it's considered cheating or plagiarism. Those are things that we don't want to happen. So make sure that you give due credit where credit is due. Civility, that's important. Don't be disrespectful to anyone. And that includes you guys in online. You might think, oh, online, I don't really interact that much with. No, you do. You're going to have to do posts on the computer, boards. You're going to have to email your professor, for example. Make sure that you're not okay. So recently, I had somebody tell me, "Oh, I was just trolling the person." I was like, "Yeah, but that's not professional. This is a professional environment. We expect you to be professional with us." And part of our mission states that we're making you employable, and that means that you need to learn how to communicate in a way that's going to be effective, professional, and actually you say what you need to say so that people can understand you. But this whole thing with trolling or saying things in a rude way, cursing, none of that is acceptable here. So please keep that in mind. That's what this college we have a student code of conduct. That's where I come in a lot of the times and say, "Hey, why are you acting this way? What's happening? Is there something we can do to either, support you? Maybe is something going on that maybe we need to help you with it? Or is it something else? Because that's not okay." So we can have those conversations. We talked about Title IX already, as well as resources. Make sure you start using them from day one. Go look at the tutoring. And Bia, I know you're there probably. Can you talk a little bit about tutoring and some of the things that the tutors actually offer?
Yes, I can.
Thank you.
All right, let me pop to view. Okay, so I am speaking as a former tutor, and I will say that the tutors are probably some of the coolest people that I've met. I swear I'm not biased, but the tutors at CTC are very helpful, very kind, and want nothing more than to make sure that you are heard and that they will do their best to help you in any way that you need it. We have tutors that cover several different subjects. We're going to be having tutors covering mainly things like math, English, history, like if you need help looking over your papers, going over and learning how to use Blackboard, things like that. Because the tutors will be able to help you out with that. If you also need printing services as well, the tutoring lab offers 10 free pages of printing per day for students. So if you need to come up, and get your paper reviewed and then print it to submit it to class, it's kind of like a one-stop shop for that. We also provide a lot of information regarding our programs there. Like if you have questions about just general things about campus too, we can help point you in the right direction. You can do either online appointments or drop-in appointments or schedule appointments. Scheduling appointments you can do either through phone, by calling the academic studio, by email, or by walking in and saying, "Hey, like I need help for the subject." If there's a tutor available at that moment, we can get you with somebody. Another thing that we do is online tutoring. So if for some reason you can't show up to the studio in person, this extends to students that are around the globe. I've personally tutored students that were in other countries before. So that is also one of the things that we can do if you need help and you're not like here at Central Campus. I think that's a pretty good summary of the tutoring lab, but it's also a nice quiet place to study. And if you're also in need of like an audience for one of your speeches, we can round up everybody in the room and be your audience. I know that we've had a lot of students in public speaking classes, come in for that specifically too, and we are more than happy to help you out with that as well.
Thank you. Give me 1 second. All right, so I think our advising team is being held up a little bit, and it sometimes is part of what ends up happening, unfortunately, when we're this close to classes starting. So I am going to do a basic overview, and I know you guys have a lot of questions. I'm going to do my very best to help answer them. And if not, I'm going to just go ahead and give you some basic information as to how you can contact them and make sure that the information is to the best of your ability, okay? And then, can you all hear me okay? Because I have somebody telling me that I'm breaking up. I just want to make sure. I'm okay? All right. So how does CTC transfer to Texas A&M program work? That's a great question. So what you're going to do is you're going to contact Texas A&M, and they actually have, usually they have an advisor here on our campus. Texas A&M has an advisor on our campus, and they can help guide you through that process. We also have a transfer advisor, and the transfer advisor can help you look at everything that you're doing here and how it can help you towards Texas A&M, or actually any other Texas college, or any college really, if you want to go transfer to. They can really guide you through that process. I'm going to share my screen in a little bit, so that way I can actually kind of guide you through some of this. Let me see. Enter. Ah, there it is. All right, so yes, let me see. There we go. Okay. So this is our advising page. All I did was go into search and type in advising. They have a lot of the information in here that might answer a lot of your questions, but if not, one of the best places that you can go to is actually here. So if you are in Colleen, you can actually contact your advisor by just emailing them, and they'll get back to you. You can book an in-person appointment, but I can almost guarantee you that those are pretty much booked for now, because this last week everybody is trying to come in, and that's probably what's happened. They are open from 8 to 5 p.m. Monday through Thursday, and then from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. on tomorrow, Friday. This is if you're here and you want to come in person to see an advisor. This is also where that transfer advisor would come in. So they are located in here. You can actually request to talk to the transfer advisor, and they'll help you out. If you are a CATE student, now CATE is Career and Technical Education student, which means that you're taking plumbing classes, building trades, you're welding, career and tech, graphics and printing, office technology. And office technology could be a medical assistant, it could be coding and billing, any of those. They will go ahead and help you out of the CATE Center. This is their information, and they have a very similar hours of operation over there. But they work specifically with the students that are part of the career and technical fields in the industrial technology and office technology. If you are nowhere near our central campus and you need assistance, we also have advisors that will help you over the phone, email, or I'm not sure if they're doing chat still, but they'll definitely help you. They're open Monday through Friday. Right now they're open Monday through Friday from 6 a.m. Central Time to 11 p.m. Central Time. That means that even if you are not local and you need assistance, they can still help you. So this is a great opportunity. Like right now, if you need assistance and you're like, I have no idea what to do, this is how you can do that. Okay. I had a question in the Facebook about international students. This is how you can get a hold of somebody from International Student Services. You can email them or call them. We are in Central Standard Time, so just remember that. And they can also go to the website. And if you are either in Fort Cavazos or in one of our service areas, you can go in there and actually talk to them. We have locations in Fort Cavazos and places like Marble Falls. So you can actually go there. Outside of the US, I mean, yeah, other US locations that we have actually, you can also go to the website here and then identify and see if there's one close to you. They might be able to help you do your advising and all of that. But this is the very general thing. Now, a lot of you may need to take, for example, TSI placement. TSI placement, that is a Texas initiative. This is not a, the only purpose of Texas, the TSI, is to see where you're at in your English and your math. It's 3 different tests. You take them and it just helps you figure out what level of math and English you are at. This is so that you don't get into the classroom and then you're like, this is way beyond my capacities. I am totally overwhelmed. I don't know what to do. So this is one of the best ways that we have found, Texas has found, to make sure that you're going to be challenged but not overwhelmed. So that may cause you to have developmental courses together with the regular college course, and they just you take that TSIA test to make sure that you are in the correct class for what you need. Sorry. Let's see here. So this is the advising stuff here. I did want to show something, but I am going to stop really quickly. I am briefly going to show you a little bit about Eagle Self-Service, but I'm going to log in first. So give me a second. Oh, hey, I forgot. For those of you that are students now, that you maybe in the past were dual credit, and now you are college students, you have to register yourself. This is where you might have to talk to an academic advisor, or you might have to come in on campus and have someone help you. You can, in theory, you should be able to register yourself, but you need to make sure that you know what classes you need and what's the best schedule for you. But if you need assistance, you need to talk to an academic advisor. But, all right, I'm going to share my screen again. Let me do this. All right. Let me do this. I need to. All right. So if you are here, and what you could do, if you come here where it says student tools, under student tools, give me 1 second.
Can I have her give you a call? We're dealing with new student orientation, so let me find her.
Give me, Julie, mute yourself. Student tools over here. This has a whole bunch of those things that we've talked about today. Eagle Self-Service, Blackboard, e-forms, student email. This is everything that a lot of the stuff that we've talked about today. So this is one of the ways that you actually, access this. But Eagle Self-Service specifically, you are going to come in here. You're going to log in. And I thought I logged in. Did I not log in? Did I log in somewhere else? What did I do? Sorry, guys. I am multitasking. And for some reason, where are you? Did I not log in? Did I log in into the wrong spot? Oh, man. I thought I did. I guess I didn't. Okay, give me a sec, guys. Let's see if I can get this. I don't log in very often to Eagle Self-Service. Yes, there it is. Okay. Now we can share again. Sorry. All right. So once you're logged in, what you're going to do is you're going to see, I have way more stuff than you guys have, and that's okay, just because I'm a student. But what you're going to see here is that we're going to, if you go under, let me go over here. I want to show you this first. Tax information, that is whenever it's time for your taxes, your parents are going to ask you, oh, or you might need to do your taxes and show proof that you are a student. That's where you're going to get the information from. So that usually you have available by the end of January. Banking information, that is where you're going to go in there and put your bank account information so that you can get any refunds directly to your bank account. Okay, so this is a very important one. Then student planning. With student planning, if you go in here, you can either go to my progress and you can see your degree plan. I have a degree plan in here. So you can see all the classes I've taken, all the transfers and all that stuff, but you can also see what classes I am missing. And it tells me that here I have 0 of 1 completed. That means I am missing a major requirement here. And you can go in there and actually see that I still need to take, let me see. Oh, this is because of TSI. But I do have classes in here that are required for my degree plan that I haven't taken and I haven't completed. So you can usually in here, include all following. See, from here, I have to take all of the following classes. Well, I have to take one of each these right here. So I have to pick from these classes, one of them to complete. And from this group, I have to take another one to complete. And that's how the degree plan's gonna work if you're gonna be doing, if you wanna see what your classes are gonna be looking like. Now, if you go back to degree planning here, when it's time to register for your class, you can either look up for the course or you can go here to plan and schedule. In this case, if I know I want a History 1301 class, I can just go in there and hit enter. And it's going to show me all the 1301 classes that I want to take or that I can potentially take. This is where filters are really important because I don't necessarily want to go to Marble Falls to take any history class. If I wanted to take a history class, I probably would want it either in Central Campus or distance learning. That may be different for you, but in my case, I probably want to do it here in Central Campus. So I'm going to click Central Campus and I want it in the fall. I don't want it any other weird dates. And then it's going to give me some options for individuals that I can take classes. So I want History 1301 and I'm going to look at it. I'm going to see all the available sections that are in here. I can pick from any of these sections. And if you look, all of these say Central Campus, Central Campus, Central Campus. And these are all lecture courses. If you look here, if I want to do, let's see, pick this section potentially, the first number, it tells me how many are available, the capacity of the class. So this one has 50 chairs, and right now there's only 8 seats available for that class. So that's a pretty big class, but there's still some spots. In theory, I could register for it. So if I want to register for this class, I'm going to look at the box that runs around it. I'm going to say add course section to the schedule. And I'm going to say, yes, this is exactly what I want. And it's going to tell me where the class is located, the professor's name, what the schedule is and all of that. So that way I can go ahead and decide, yes, this is what I want to do, or no, I don't want to do this. I can look at it. Oh yeah, this is the class I need and this is the professor that I want. Perfect. And then I can add the section. This is just adding it to your cart. This is not actually registering for it. Okay. Remember, it's always a 2-step process. So I decide I want to do that, but maybe that's not the schedule that works for me. Maybe 9 a.m. is not a good time. Maybe I have to take a 7:30 class. Oh, that one's rough, but maybe that's what I need. So I don't take that one. I want to take this one. Same thing. I could just come over here and pick that one. Once you're done with picking a section here and adding it to my cart, so to speak, then I would go back to plan and schedule, and then I'm going to find here all the sections that I have planned in my cart. Right now, I'm taking a carpentry class. Yes, guys, I'm a student too. And so my schedule for the class is after work hours, and I am taking this class here. So what happens is it gives you the structure, the dates for the class, and what the schedule is here. If you're taking an online class, of course, it's not going to add it in the middle of the day or, you know, in the schedule here, like at a time. It's just going to have it all the way at the bottom showing that you have it. It's just the fact that you're enrolled in it, but it's an online class. Always remember to filter, and you can look at different semesters here. So right now it's in fall. Maybe you want to register in the spring whenever it's time to do that. And you can pick from here. You just click on it and it'll give you a different option for spring. Like right now that's fall. This is spring 2024. This is fall. Okay. I don't know if we have any questions right now because I can't see them. Let me see if I can get back to that. Chat. I'm a nursing student, but still need to complete your prerequisites. What for the student planning, it does not have the classes that I need to take. So will it show up once I finish my prerequisites? Okay, so great question, nursing students and health sciences. The health sciences is one of the programs that is completely different. And what happens is you have to first take your prerequisites and then apply. And once you apply to the program, they're going to do orientations and they're going to explain to you all the steps that you have to do. Once you actually apply to the program, you have to get accepted. They're going to add you to a cohort, and then they register you for the actual nursing classes. You can register yourself for all the prerequisites and any kind of general classes that you may need, but anything that is nursing specific, they will register you for it with your cohort. So this is super important, nursing students. You have to make sure you get good grades. This is where quality over quantity. Remember biology, you're going to have to take anatomy, physiology 1, 2, you're going to have to take English, composition, math, and you're going to have to take all these basic classes. But the main ones that you're going to need to be able to apply are definitely English, anatomy and physiology 1, and I want to say a pharmacology class. You have to pass those classes because this is a very competitive program and they only take the best of the best. That means that anatomy and physiology, you're going to consider it not one class, it's 2. Let me tell you why. Even though you're paying for one 4-credit class, it includes a lab and you're going to go in there and it's going to be completely different from the didactic course. The lab and the course, you get 2 different grades. Eventually, it all gets meshed into 1 grade. But you need to allot enough time to study as if it was 2 classes, not 1. So please make sure that you're thinking this through and that you're looking at it. For example, biology, it's bio L. I think it's 14. It's not 1401. I said it wrong. But here it's here it is, and at 2401, that's anatomy and physiology. Yep. So if you look at it, all of these sections get full really, really quickly. These are the ones that you need to, I'm telling you, midnight, the day that the classes open, you need to be getting into these classes because they get full very, very quickly, and they have very limited capacities because of the lab portion of it. So make sure that you are registering for these early enough and that so that you can get into these classes that you need. So I hope that helped answer that. Will they drop my history class if I'm the only one in it? Maybe. Colin, the answer is maybe. You're going to have to talk to the department to see if they can help you. So if you look at, but there's a lot of history courses out there, okay? So if you're the only one registered in a history course, there's a lot of options out there, either in person or online. So you might want to consider actually maybe seeing if there's another class that you can get into that is available. I don't know which history course it is, but if you look at it, there's usually a lot more there's a lot more classes, or I should say there's other sections of the same class that you can get into. I'm going to point out here really quickly. Remember, Dr. Reese mentioned synchronous virtual blending. That's what they would look like in here. Online blended, online lecture. So these are different options, and you can see that it'll tell you right here what those are. Online self-paced. Remember, it's self-paced, but it's really got milestones. Let me see what other. What are Okay, so here's the thing with LVN. I think they're very similar to the ADN prerequisites. So if you go to health sciences, if you type that in there, that department of health sciences, you can actually go in there into the area. They have it really well. This is histology, nursing program. Let's see. That one's nursing. And you can go in there and you can actually see the requirements. They give you a lot of information. This is general nursing, but a lot of it is basically the same. So make sure that you go in here, and I highly recommend that you actually talk to somebody from the nursing department. They can help you and guide you through this. Now, if this right here is the main email, you can email that dhs@ctcd.edu. They will actually really tell you based on what you want to do exactly what you need to do. You know what I mean? So make sure that you look at it. Let's see. Am I missing anything? Let's see. How does the Wolf Warrior Scholarship work with CTC? Yes, that's great. Yes, contact Wendy Martell for that, definitely. All right, do we have any other questions that are of general advising capacity? Anything else, guys? No? Cool. All right, so I'm gonna stop sharing. And I am going to see if we have anybody here from Campus Police. Anybody here from Campus Police? No? Going once, going twice. No, you can still register, Isabella. You can go ahead and register for your classes. It says self-paced on Eagle Self-Service. I just showed it a little while ago. It actually says it. And remember, it's self-paced with milestones. That's the important part to it. That you need to make sure. I am going to show you some quick slides with regards to Campus Police. This is going to be super quick because we're almost at time. I forgot to present. There we go. All right. You guys should see it now. Valeria, you can access to Blackboard is going to be like everybody else tomorrow. Police services. These are the services that they can offer you if you're here on campus. One of the things that I want you to know is that they also collaborate worldwide. They are actual police. We have police officers, and then we also have safety officers, but we do have police. They have jurisdiction over 2 counties. Anywhere basically that CTC is located, they have jurisdiction. If they don't, for whatever reason, they will coordinate together with the police departments from those areas. So this is the phone number. Save it. Every single student that comes to this campus should have that saved into their telephone. Because if you have an emergency and you need to talk to somebody, you can just call them directly. Somebody answers the phone 24/7, regardless. There's always a campus police officer that will answer that phone, or one of somebody from the office will answer. They can help you with parking permits, calls of service, unlocking and jump starting your vehicle, escort you to classroom if you feel uncomfortable for whatever reason. They have a lost and found. If you lose something on campus, please check it out. And then first aid. There's a way that you can look at all the crime statistics. It's called the Cleary statistics, and you can see how safe our campus is. And there is an app for that through the Texas Safety U, and you should go ahead and check that out. They also work together with me as a conduct officer for the campus. And they want to always remind you that there's zero tolerance for any sexual assault, harassment, dating violence, drug and alcohol, smoking. And if you want to do a free speech activity, there is a way to request that through our campus police. And of course, violations of the law. It's very important. One of the things for those of you that are local here to Killeen has decriminalized marijuana. That does not mean that it has been decriminalized on our campus. Our campus still, you cannot bring any kind of illegal drugs. That includes marijuana and marijuana products, vape pens with, marijuana products, things of that nature. So no alcohol on campus, no illegal drugs on campus, and no smoking on campus unless you're in the cabin of your vehicle. This is one of my favorite slides, and get ready to take pictures, guys, because this means, it's actually not this one, it's this one. So we have an Eagle emergency alert. If in the case of an emergency, you will receive a text, a call, or an email letting you know what's going on. I'm a fan of this because in the winter, if we are closed because there's like it's frozen or snowing or something along those lines, I get a message to my text, I read it, and I say, yes, I go back to bed, and I don't have to come to school. That's my favorite reason for it. But if you need to update it, the information on it, you can go ahead and log into it, look at it, make sure that they have your correct phone number, email. If you want to add maybe a parent or a spouse so that they're aware of what's going on, you can do so as well, going to this website. Campus carry. Texas law states that you can openly carry in Texas, except in campuses like ours. So here you cannot open carry. You can only conceal carry if you are a licensed holder, a handgun. You're a license holder, yes. So make sure that you do not openly carry ever, unless you're an actual police officer. The other thing, we do have some gun-free zones. Most of it has to do with minors on campus and mental health locations. So please make sure that you do not come into any of those locations with a weapon if they are considered gun-free zones. Okay? So we do have policy. Basically, if you see something, say something. Please let us know if you see something that feels kind of weird, and they can help you, either escort you to a vehicle. If you have a vehicle that you need assistance with or anything like that, we can totally help you. And then they have this great YouTube video that talks about avoid, deny, and defend, which is an opportunity for you to learn how to act in case you are ever in an active shooter circumstance. And that's it. Does anybody have any questions? I'm going to go back and read because I know that there's probably some questions that I may have kind of not looked at. So I'm going to go back and let me get rid of this PowerPoint really quickly so I can get it over with. Okay. Where did you go? Okay. Let me look in Facebook. No. Okay, cool. Let me look over here and work study, blah, blah, blah. Sorry, it took me to something else. So any class that's self-paced or online is completely online. Yes. Yes. The ones that are not, that's why it's good if you would use your filters in the Eagle self-service, because if you want only 100% online, then pick distance learning. That's the best way for you to do it, so that you don't have an issue with it. Any other questions, guys? Going once, going twice. All right. If that is it, thank you very much, guys. I really appreciate you being here. This is all that we have for you. I hope that this was beneficial to you and that you learned something from it. I feel that I hope you feel confident now that you're going to start your classes and you at least have a clue as to what to expect. Oh, okay. How do I know which building my class is in? Great question. So if we go back over here, I'm going to show you. Let me share again real quick. Yes. Okay. So if you come in here, these are all distance learning. So see, it says 100% online. But I think I had did I put in here? No. See, anything that's distance learning will only say that. But I'm going to show you Central Campus. I'm going to change the filters because that's what I need to happen. Oh, that's not what I needed. Sorry. Okay, here we go. Let's find a class though. Let's look at English because it logged me out. Okay, guys, give me a sec. I'll show you in a moment. Ugh. I have to focus when I sign into this thing because otherwise I log myself out. I have issues. Okay, let's do this again. All right. Better. So, History 1301. I like that one because this is real-time virtual. So that's going to be synchronous virtual learning. But let's find a Central Campus one. Here we go. And we're going to go to history again because I know we have history classes here. Okay. So, did I not put Central Campus? Okay, thank you. What is going on? All right, I'm going to stop. I'm going to just use one of these. So, in this case, if you look, it says Camp Pendleton and it says the location 201. That's probably the building. But let me look for one. Here we go. Central Campus, Building 208, Academic Building, Room 147. So this is how you can tell here. Now, if you're already registered for the class and you go back to student planning and plan your degree, let me see here. See how you've got the schedule here? If you click on it, and it's going to give you meeting information and it's going to tell you exactly. So this is in my carpentry class is in the Kate Center, building 253E. And then it's in the carpentry area. There's only one area for that. But if it had a room attached to it, it would also have the room there. But that's how you do that. How do I know what classes to take next? For instance, I've already taken History 1301 through CTC. How do I know which one to select? How do I know? Will it know that I've already taken it or will it lead me in the right direction? No. Reagan, you need to know what to take because each degree plan is a little bit different and has a lot of little nuances. This is where talking to an academic advisor is going to be extremely helpful for you. They can look at the degree plan that you want to finish, that you want to, go towards, and then they can help you plan out the classes. You like history, for example, History 1301, you can take it online, you can take it in person, it doesn't matter. If your degree plan tells you you need History 1301, then you just pick one of those sections and you take the class. It doesn't matter which one. Now, if you already took 1301 and you're not sure if you need 1302, that's something that is based on the degree plan that you have to follow. Some of them require both, some of them only require one. So it's very important then you talk to an advisor about that. And that's where maybe reaching out to, even if you can't come on campus today, maybe call Eagles Self-Service and see if they can help guide you through that, looking at your degree plan and which one is the best one for you. Or come on by tomorrow. Either way. Good question, though. Good question. I feel like you guys have been asking really great questions. I'm really happy about that. Oh, I'm glad it makes sense, Reagan, because sometimes I talk a lot and I am not sure if it makes sense. Thank you. Thank you for the feedback. I like that. All right. What other questions, guys? Anything else? This is the time. This is it, guys. This is it. No, maybe. Going once, going twice. All right. Thank you, guys. You have made this a successful new student orientation. I really appreciate you guys being here. I hope to see you around if you're local. If not, remember, we are here to serve you regardless of where you're located. I am more than happy to call, to hop in a WebEx or something like that if I need to help anybody. I know a lot of us on campus are willing to do the same. So please let us know if you have questions, reach out to us. Remember, we can't help you unless you tell us about it, okay? So thank you. We hope you have a successful semester and we will see you around one way or another.